We've got so much to cover on the program today. A lot. Welcome, one and all. Hey there, hey there. Yes, it is open phones on Friday. Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. Absolutely. We'll be on the air in just a few minutes, guys. Yep, I'm at the radio station today. All right, we will be on the air soon. Mm. Oh, I'm having trouble getting the other stream started. Okay. Absolutely. The golden age of America is here. It's as good as it gets, too, isn't it? Northern Ireland, welcome. That's right. It's the fans on the computer. We have massive servers here that run like 10 different radio stations. Absolutely. I've got so much to cover today. I'm not sure where I'm going to begin until I open up the mic. That's how much there is to cover. Big wet.
Test now with Boca and any lab test now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now with Boca and any lab test now with Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now with Boca and any lab test now with Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals.
Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We're going to be live on the air in seconds, and we got a lot to cover. So
Price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating, yes, I know, that long time, 48 years on the radio. And man, oh man, do we have a lot to cover on the show today. In fact, it's one of those days that I almost don't know where to begin, but I'll decide right now as I'm talking to you. And I do have an announcement to make, a little bit, something. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to share what I'm going to share in a few minutes on the air, but I'll find out if I wasn't supposed to when I share it. But I'm going to wait a few minutes before I do. There's so much happening, and there's been nonstop breaking news lately. I mean, really nonstop breaking news. There's so much news that it's really difficult to even decide where to go, what to talk about, what to lead with. There's never enough time to cover everything. And the reason is we're in Trump's second term, man. I mean, that's it. We're in Trump's second term, and there's nonstop breaking news. And I've been watching the cable news this week more than I normally would, because there's been so much breaking news that I've not wanted to miss with President Trump. And I'm going to throw something out to you, and you may think I'm wrong. I would like to hear if you agree or disagree with what I'm going to share. or if you think I'm nuts. I got a few things that you might think I'm nuts about I'm going to bring up today, but we're living in some very unusual times because the swamp is being drained at levels that are not even you're able to measure. The swamp's being drained so much and so fast. But I've noticed this week, as we've gotten further in the week, even though there is non-stop news, so fast it's hard to keep up with, that the cable news, and when I talk about the cable news, I'm talking about Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC. I'm talking about those three, not Newsmax or anything. I noticed that they're not covering much on those outlets during the day. In fact, I would go so far as to say they're almost killing time getting through their day parts. And they're not talking about some of the biggest news of the day. And my first thought, was well, they don't want to report good news on Trump. I thought that. No, that's not it. My second thought was things are happening so fast, the media cannot keep up. And then I've come to realize that's not the case. Now, have you noticed that the news, the 24-hour cable channels are really dragging? They're talking about old stories. Struggling to get through the day and get through the time, or is that just me? But then I realized with this USAID, we were talking, of course, yesterday a lot about that, but that they gave $34 million to Politico, $50 million to the New York Times, $50 million to the New York Times, all these outlets, and there's a whole bunch of others too. And this is what I'm starting to wonder. The media, the people that give them the talking points and what stories to talk about, they're not getting paid by USAID now. So is the media in a situation where they're not getting their talking points or fake news stories from their handlers? Is that why it's so slow? They don't know how to cover stories. They don't know how to discuss them on their own. They're waiting for the USAID paid people to send them their talking points and stories. Or is that crazy? Do you agree with that or not? Because the news media are really struggling this week. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. And it's been getting worse as the week goes on. And we're about a week into because it happened over the weekend, this USAID, and it was a week ago today that Politico didn't make payroll. So I promise you, there's other organizations and outlets that are out of money too, because they never thought that this flow of cash would be interrupted. So they have no reserves. Whatever they don't spend, they steal probably. So there are others that are not making money or being paid and are about to fail and can't make payroll. We're just not hearing about it yet, but we will. So we're really starting to see how much control goes on. Now, here's another thing that this is not necessarily perfect, but I've got a rule of thumb that I'm applying this week. We know, and WikiLeaks did a big drop on the USAID scandal. They have been paying over 7,000 journalists directly around the world, but in this country too. This is WikiLeaks. And hundreds and hundreds of media organizations are getting money from USAID. Yet, it's hardly covered. I was watching Fox yesterday, barely a mention. And media love stories that are about the media. It's about them, they love it. So here's a rule of thumb that I have. This USAID scandal is the biggest scandal of any of our lifetimes to be uncovered, the biggest news scandal. And what I mean is not about the news. I mean, it's the biggest scandal that's a national news story, and it's barely being reported. It's a financial story. It's a political story. It's a story about corrupt media and all this stuff. And it's barely being reported. Now, Fox News, a couple mentions is all I've heard. Newsmax has been doing some pretty extensive coverage of it. I don't have OAN. I don't know what they're doing. But if anyone, there's two things you got to look for. One, anyone at this point, I'm talking about, this point moving forward, okay, because of the USAID exposure, anyone in media who is critical of Elon Musk at this point, put them on the list of, let's keep an eye on them. I'm not sure I can trust them. They may be on the take of USAID, or people in their orbit may be on the take. And when this story first broke a few days ago, Brian Glenn brought it up in the White House press briefing, the Politico story, because that's all we knew at that time. He was one of the first couple of questions in the briefing. Not one other reporter did a follow-up about it during that whole press briefing at the White House, okay, with Caroline Leavitt. So those that don't report the story or ignore the story are probably getting, well, no one's getting it now, probably were getting USAID money. That's what it looks like to me. I think that's a good rule of thumb. And I'm in shock at how little news coverage there is, because I thought Fox would be all over this like 24/7 because it exposes their competition, and it's barely a mention. I'm not going to go through all the new stuff that's come out with USAID. A lot of it, this one, this is one a lot of people will not want to agree with me on, but it came out yesterday that USAID has been giving hundreds of millions of dollars to George Soros. So I'm starting to think that George Soros is, and I did mention this a little bit yesterday when I was talking to Jeff from Maine. I'm not defending him, but he's more of a boogeyman to distract you from the real people that are manipulating everything. USAID has been giving him hundreds of millions of dollars. So all this manipulation he's been doing very well may be not with any of his own money. It may be from USAID money. So this is a story that the last time there was a story out of Washington that was this scandalous was I'm trying to think now, since I've been doing this is just off the top of my head, and I may forget something. But the other two, because this is a Washington scandal, a huge Washington scandal, Washington media scandal. The last time there were stories that were this scandalous out of Washington, they both involve sex, different things, but the Monica Lewinsky scandal, it was when the Drudge Report broke that story. President Clinton has been having a long-term affair with a 25-year-old White House intern. That was a big freaking deal. Now it doesn't seem like a big deal to people because you're so used to it. That was so big. Our country, it was like, I've never seen something like that. The second story out of Washington that was scandalous, that would be close to this, so, would be, and it was a little less than Lewinsky, was the Gary Condit story. Remember, Gary Condit was a Democrat congressman in the House of Representatives. Chandra Levy was a congressional aide, was found dead. Or did they not find, did they find her? I can't remember what the story was with all of that. But he was having an affair with this murdered this murdered congressional aide, Gary Condit. And that was a big story too, because it was sex, it was murder. So those were big and the media were all over all of that when they broke, doing perp walks with Gary Condit. He was in Congress for a long time through that. This story, it's media silence. And they're not into being silent about things because they were reporting all the confidential, top secret, tactical information on Tom Homan's raids on the Venezuelan gangs. They don't mind. They're not into keeping secrets because they blew that whole bust. All right, we'll take our first break of the day. It is Friday. On Friday, it is open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You're not limited to you don't even have to talk about anything that I'm referencing. Although I think what I brought up so far is worthy of discussion. You can just ignore it because on Friday's show, on Open Maga Mike Friday, the show prep is up to you guys. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. Our number is toll free 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon, one of the DJs here at the True Oldies channel. Hope you're enjoying the Kane Show with Brian. And we want to remind you that at 10 this morning, the oldies are back. The greatest hits of the 60s and 70s, right here on the True Oldies channel.
For over 100 years, Sloman's Home Security has been the trusted name in protecting what matters most, your home and your family. With 24/7 monitoring and responsive customer service, we provide real security powered by real people. Because when it comes to safety, the difference is human. The difference is Sloman's. Whether you're at home or away, feel peace of mind knowing Sloman's has your back. From smart home integration to professional installation, we tailor our service to fit your needs. Join the countless homeowners who trust Sloman's. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME today to find out more and secure your home with Sloman's Home Security. Sloman's Home Security, where your safety is our priority.
He can't get deported. He's a U.S. citizen. You can't deport U.S. citizens. He's a U.S. citizen. Why would you deport him? Because he caught bank robbers? If you're on hold, hang in there.
Hey, my True Oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. Are you looking for a retirement advisor?
Yes, the USID. They're robbing the bank, the U.S. Treasury.
And as it turns out,
The biggest bank of all, the United States Treasury.
whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number.
If you're on hold, hang in there.
743-0999. Or you can go to JupiterJoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Donna from Jupiter. I'm calling to share my great experience with Jupiter Joe. My husband and I started listening to you a few years ago, and that's when we learned about Jupiter Joe Thomas. We're seniors with no pension and collect Social Security. All our investments were in stocks and IRAs until we heard about Jupiter Joe. Speaking of having your money work for you. So we got in touch with him, and he went above and beyond trying to locate all our diversifications. He answered all our questions clearly and returned every phone call. He recommended an annuity that enabled us to get a safe monthly income for life. So I just want to tell everyone, if you're in need of additional income, especially with the high cost of everything these days, please call Joe Thomas. It's no cost to you. He is so professional, knowledgeable, trustworthy, and you can put total confidence in him. My husband and I can't say enough good things about Jupiter Joe and his staff.
I want to thank you for your kind words for Jupiter Joe Thomas. If you want to call Joe Thomas, I'm going to give you his number. It's a no-charge consultation, which you can take advantage of no matter where you're located. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, JupiterJoe.com.
Hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FLA.
All right, we are back. If you're on hold, stand by. You know, that recorded commercial with one of our listeners who called in about Jupiter Joe Thomas. You know, she had more compliments for Joe Thomas, but I didn't have room. You know, commercials on the radio are supposed to be 30 or 60 seconds. You know, I know I don't really stick to that too much, you know. But remember the one guy that used to be the operations man, he used to send me the commercials. Which was this 30 or 60? It would be like a minute 17. But that commercial with the woman, the nice lady who's listening, who's calling in about Joe Thomas, that's supposed to be 60 seconds. And I was just looking, it is 91 seconds. And I had to edit out some of her compliments. She had more compliments than even when I ran over on time, than we had times. Isn't that nice? I appreciate it. And all of you out there, you know, we don't have USAID supporting our radio station like these lefties do. So those of you that support our radio station and our show by supporting our sponsors, I just want to say thank you. All right. We'll go to the phones, 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. No matter where you are listening to us, it is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Sean from California.
You're pretty awake. California, it's 3:21 a.m. You're pretty awake.
Well, you know how it is. I'm doing my post, and I missed your adventures out here in California. I hope none of the fire or any of the other natural disasters we have mismanaged got in your way.
No, it's all right. I don't mind. I like California. If it wasn't for the liberals, California would be so much nicer.
I agree. I'm trying to fix that issue. I want to touch on what you're talking about, this media blackout. There's a couple of old cliches that come to mind. One was, everyone is the media now. We all have cell phones. Two, the revolution will not be things like that. You're finding it on Twitter and other platforms that this media is not friendly to. So the word's getting out. It's just... Well,
no, what it is, that first statement you made, that's a very famous quote from Mr. Andrew Breitbart. Said that, we're all citizens, journalists and that was back in the days of flip phones, right? Because he's been gone a long time. This is the media's attitude. And I know a lot. I know people like this, that friends of mine that are like radio people or do online shows. There's a lot of arrogance. If they don't broadcast it, no one's going to know about it. So that tree falls in the woods and nobody's there. Did it make a noise? So that's kind of what they're doing. But this is the reality of the situation. Many millions of people get their news from television, and not enough people know about this.
Correct. And this also lines up, though, with that Smith Modernization Act, where the government said they would fund media aimed at the American people as far as messaging goes. And that was under Barack Obama in Congress during his time. So
yeah,
to get rid of that Smith Modernization.
What part of California are you in? What part of California are you in?
Riverside, California. Us and San Bernardino up north voted for Trump, and we're two big...
Oh, great. When I was in Los Angeles a couple weeks ago, I noticed it got to the point where it was uncomfortable. Now, this was in Los Angeles. I went to the Griffith Observatory with my daughter. I always wanted to go there. That's what, they film Rebel Without a Cause there and stuff. It's a very famous place, and you get a great view of the Hollywood sign and everything. And a lot of women in Los Angeles, I didn't mention this, and it was difficult because I made a YouTube video and I edited all of this out. They wear see-through pants in Los Angeles. They wear, you know what I'm talking about?
I had a shoplift the other day in this mall, and she was wearing tan see-through pants over a thong, and she didn't.
Yes, they wear. Yeah. Mike's booking an airline ticket, but they're like yoga pants, but they're see-through, and they're wearing thongs. And I walked into the Griffith Observatory, and there's this thing where everybody gathers around to look at. I walk in there, and it's like I'm looking at a bunch of naked women from behind. And I'm with my daughter. It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and again, California being so liberal, everybody here is getting obese rather than being, the beachgoers that were on Venice Beach with muscles, like back in the 80s with Arnold and and all that. No, they're all getting obese out here because, it's someone else's fault if you eat too much or if you do this.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Making California red. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, Richie.
If I was the media, like you said, CNN and all this, I wouldn't report it. I mean, why report it? You've been on the side of the Democratic Party your whole life. You're part of the Democratic Party.
No. It depends. It depends if it's you or your competition. Like, let me give you an example. Remember Neil Rogers? You know Neil Rogers. And a lot of, this is a really sad thing because Neil Rogers was the #1 radio personality in the history of the Miami and South Florida radio market. And he died 15 years ago, and a lot of people have forgotten about him. But he was the most well-known radio personality in the whole market in the history of Miami radio. He was gay and was openly gay. In fact, he was openly gay in the 70s when it wasn't hip to be square, okay? I mean, so he had a lot of guts. Remember what happened when he got arrested? He got arrested. Okay. Yeah, okay. Neil Rogers. There's other radio personalities that have had conflicts. Sometimes radio personalities get arrested and police or somebody, I don't know, they send me police reports and stuff, and I don't go public with them, but Neil's long dead, and I don't think he would mind. So Neil Rogers, now, he was #1 until almost his death. He was off the air only 2 years or so when he died, but he was #1. In fact, he was so big that in the days when they used to sell newspapers at all the intersections, they'd have the homeless guys selling newspapers. Every one of them would have a radio. He was on from 10 to 2, and every newspaper guy, you know this, Richie, they'd have Neil on. I mean, he was so big that when he died, even Howard Stern memorialized him on his show. I mean, he's the biggest guy ever in the market. He got arrested in a pornographic movie theater, masturbating. Do I have to dump myself? Can we say masturbating? Masturbating's okay. That's a clinical word. And not only did we talk about it on the radio, what Steve Kane did was insane. I can't say this exact. Steve made bumper stickers for our radio station. I can't say all of it in this context. I'll tell you off the air, Mike. But it was a hand doing a bumper sticker. And I have some of these bumper stickers. They're very rare, okay? I have them in a box stored away. I may have the last ones. It said, everybody called Neil Rogers Uncle Neil, right? If you called in, you say, Uncle Neil, if you called the show. Yes, remember all that? And Steve Kane made bumper stickers advertising our radio station, which was another one than him. Uncle Neil blanking soon in a theater near you, and it had a hand doing something in our radio station dial position. Historically, when your competition gets jammed up in immorality, you talk about it. Remember when Fredo from CNN, Chris Cuomo, threatened to throw a guy down the stairs? Every media outlet was covering it, except CNN.
What you say?
So why is Fox doing a blackout?
Because they're sitting back because I think they got to be part of it.
That's right. Whoever doesn't report it is probably on the take. Correct. Correct.
Shaking in their boots because they're probably part of this whole thing. Remember, President Trump was off the air from Fox for 18 months. They wouldn't put.
That's right. Anyone who I told you when this story broke, I said if someone reports it, they're clean. If they don't report it, they're probably on the. Oh yeah, I left something out about Neil, who was openly gay on the air and everything. He was embarrassed about that arrest. You know what he was embarrassed. Remember, he was caught masturbating in a pornographic movie theater in public. You know why he was embarrassed? Do you remember of the arrest?
Yeah. Well.
It was a heterosexual movie he was watching. It wasn't gay porn, it was straight porn. And the idea that he would go and watch straight porn was very embarrassing to Neil. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. I mean, this guy was nuts.
Hey, one quick thing, because I'm going to run out of time here. Caroline Levitt, I got to tell you something. Not only is she gorgeous, but she's so smart and she's so quick. And such a breath of fresh air from the crap that I've seen for 4 years and that other thing. I mean, she's the best I've ever seen, and she's a young woman.
You know, we had an incident. I'll tell you another thing. There was an incident. There was a radio personality who I don't want to give all the details. I don't know. there was a radio personality who brought a date to a personal appearance that was a prostitute, and they got busted. And we talked. It was talked about on the air. You know, I mean, so this. What I'm telling you is, when media love to do stories on their competition messing up that are embarrassing, and exactly, this is the first time. And Newsmax has been doing very detailed coverage of this, so we know they're clean.
Well, you got to understand really quick. You got to understand the only thing that the other side has is that Elon Musk is terrible and he's unconstitutional. They're not talking about the merits of what he's finding. I
remember one of the big one. I do not say this name if you know who I'm talking about. One of the biggest. Well, I'll give you one that we can talk about. Hugh Grant, the actor. Remember when he got arrested for having sex in a car with a prostitute in Hollywood? Right? Remember that, Hugh Grant? Okay, that's what we could talk about. He was the #1 top male movie star in the world at the time, and he picked up this trashy street hooker and got busted because his foot was hitting the brake light having sex with her. Her name was... Anybody remember her name? You get extra credit if you can remember her name. I can't remember it, but if I hear it, I'll know. And everyone in Hollywood was talking about it, right? Everyone in Hollywood, all Entertainment Tonight. He went on The Tonight Show. It was on everything because he was the top movie star. This USA ID scandal, we find out that Sean Penn, Angelina Jolie, and Ben Stiller were all of them were paid millions of dollars to go to meet Zelensky in Ukraine. Angelina Jolie, $20 million, $3 to $5 million each for Ben Stiller and Sean Penn. USA ID.
No, we paid.
Well, yeah, you're technically, and no one's talking about it. Another one, Sean Penn gave Zelensky his Oscar. He didn't give it; he sold it, which, by the way, is against the Oscar rules. You're not allowed to do that. And no one's covering these stories. I haven't confirmed this, but I saw this yesterday. One of the biggest television shows in America today, they're saying was completely fine. I don't want to say the name because I haven't confirmed it yet, but was paid for by USA ID. It's not news. It's not news. It's entertainment. It's an entertainment show.
Oh my God! Yeah, they're sitting on
that. Divine Brown. Yes, somebody got in the chat. Divine Brown was the name of the street walking prostitute that Hugh Grant picked up and got busted with.
This is so deep. This is so deep that it's not even. It's at the surface. Believe it or not, he's going to go to.
But you know, Richie,
he's going to go to.
You will not hear me say this too often. Okay, because a lot of people say this stuff. And it's fake and self-serving. So few people are covering it, I'm almost nervous that I'm talking about it so much. You understand what I mean? Because no one's talking about it.
Well, you know what it is, and I know you're against break. Our whole government, what we thought was America is all stealing from us. And now it's coming out. We have been robbed in our pockets. The average Joe just trying to make it through the week is being robbed. And that's the bottom line. They have stole from us, and they've made themselves rich, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, all right. Take care, Richie. All right, we'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
This Friday morning and throughout the day, we have a high of 77 degrees and sunny. Tonight, it's going to be a low of 70 degrees and mostly clear. Over the weekend, Saturday morning, high of 76 and sunny. Low of 67 Saturday night and mostly clear. Sunday morning, a high of 77 degrees and sunny. And Sunday night, it's going to be mostly clear with a low of 69 degrees.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Your morning commute, heavily under speed on both sides of Federal Highway in between Hyperlux Road and White Beach Boulevard, and another accident at the intersection of Jog Road and White Beach Boulevard. The rest of the county free of major backups.
I didn't even want to say to you guys, I was telling Mike what Steve had put on those bumper stickers for that radio personality that got arrested.
$1,000 cash fine and the Moneymaker Tour. Cash game players will love the high hands every 20 minutes, and tournament players get ready for the Moneymaker Tour February 12th through the 25th with over $500,000 in guarantees, 30 trophy events, live streaming, and more. Plus, table game action with Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker. For more info, go to ppkennelclub.com.
My name is Dr. Philip Appleton. I'm a chiropractic physician. Over the years, I've treated thousands and thousands of patients from bursitis, tendinitis, sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, tears, post-surgery, pre-surgery, herniated disc, gout, bone on bone. If you can name the pain, most likely I've treated over the years. Most of my practice is laser with robotic lasers. They're robots which rotates constantly around the area, where most lasers do not do that. So if you want to come in for a free consultation, as always here, welcome at Appleton Chiropractic. I'm here 6 days a week. I personally do all the treatment. You can bring your MRIs, you can bring your x-rays, you can bring your CAT scans, whatever you have, bring for me to look at. I would do that free of charge.
Call Dr. Appleton right now for that free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. If you're a homeowner or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. Laporta Roofing has been in the roofing and construction business since 1984, with thousands of roof installations.
We'll be back
thousands
in
of satisfied customers. Did you know that in the
just a minute.
you can open a roofing company and borrow someone else's license? Tom Laporta is the holder of his roofing and general contractor's licenses. Not like the other companies that borrow other people's licenses. So be sure who you're dealing with. Tom Laporta and his team are honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Roofing carries all insurance, including workers' compensation on all of its employees. Not just a waiver like other contractors. Laporta Roofing can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing, HOAs, condominiums, and churches. If it's roofing, Laporta Roofing can do it. So call Tom Laporta on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, or connect online at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602. Laporta Roofing, the go-to roofing company you can trust.
Hi, I'm Sloan Smith. At All Year, we offer same-day AC service and installation. Need to stay cool? Yes, all year. Need help today? Yes, all year. Zero down financing? Yes, all year. We're South Florida's #1 for comfort because our family is serving your family all year. Call us today at 833-ALL-YEAR. That's 833-ALL-YEAR.
For a limited time, save up to 30% off new air conditioners and repairs with All Year.
There was another guy that got arrested, a
Right
radio
now,
guy.
Mike Lindell at My Pillow is offering his first ever mega sale. With our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, you can save big money on top My Pillow products, the My Pillow sheets, the My Pillow 6-piece towel set, the My Pillow that started it all, and much, much more. And free shipping on all orders. That's right, free shipping on all orders with our promo code KANE at checkout. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 48 years on the air.
Oh my God. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. I was telling Mike during the break what was on that Neil Rogers bumper sticker that I can't say on the air. if I got those, if I could find those in my attic, they're valuable. They're rare collectibles. I might be able to, retire off of those things. All right, we're back. If you're on hold, hang in there. There is a lot to be said about this story having a media blackout because it makes no sense. When you've seen people in the media get in scandalous situations, believe me, their competition always discuss it. Okay? Because they want to stick it to the competition. Not this time. All right. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Brian.
Yes?
Yes, it's Laura. How are you?
Hey, Laura.
US said it's a scandal. But I just wanted to ask you about another situation. Why this Robert Kennedy and Kelsey Galbert and Cash Patel, they are not confirmed yet. This is not normal what is going on.
No, it's normal. It's just you got to be patient. They have these bizarre rules in the Senate, that only Republicans abide by. They can't pass anything unless they get 60 votes and all this stuff. So that, they're letting these Robert rules of the, order dictate things. They're gonna get confirmed. Don't worry. The Democrats listen, everyone's getting through. So the Democrats have to act like they have to make an effort to try to stop somebody. That's all. Don't worry about it.
You sure?
Yeah.
I hope so. Okay.
All right. That's good. Okay. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Mr. Brian. It's Joanne from Tamarack.
Hey, Joanne.
I'd like to make a note. If you remember, a while ago, probably a year and a half ago, they tried to take Newsmax off the air. Do you remember that?
That's right. They did take them off of some cable outlets. Yeah, they did. Yes.
So I think you're right about them being clean, because they tried to get rid of.
Well, this, there was a time when Obama got elected. They tried to buy me and Steve. I'm not saying USID, but some leftist, the Democrats, and they came to us with a sponsorship opportunity, paying way too much money. But it seemed, okay, and we met with them and everything. And then at the end of the meeting, they told us some things, right? They didn't want us to call Obama. They wanted to call him either President Obama or the president on the air. This has been a long time, okay? Because this was like 2010-ish. They did not want us to talk about, if we talked about Obamacare, they didn't want us to call it Obamacare. We were to call it the Affordable Care Act. And there was a couple of other things I don't remember. It's been a long time, and we of course we didn't do it, But that's how they do it. They offer you they offer you a lot of money that is out of proportion of what it would normally be. And I got to tell you, I remember after that happened, Steve and I knew exactly what was going on, but we didn't say anything because you never know. They could be recording you, right? You don't know, So we didn't say much when we were there. We just said thank you very much and left. And I said, Steve, I've never seen you turn down like that much money before. I mean, it was a lot of money. He's like, yeah, and that's exactly, they were trying to buy us.
Also, if you remember, when Kamala was on the campaign trail, she was doing a radio show, and the interviewer admitted to being told what questions she could ask and giving the questions to Kamala in advance.
That's correct.
I think that's the way you run a news organization. So something was there. And also, I'm wondering, do you think that the people who work at Politico, and do they know that their company is on the take, or do they just come to work and innocently do their job?
There's probably a mix. I mean, there's probably a mix. Wherever you work, you don't know everyone who's paying the bills or things. But I think, the day before the story broke, that Politico got 34 million from USAID, which is New York Times got 50 million. Yeah, Disney was getting like 20 million a month. But Politico the day before had a massive story. I did I went through this on a YouTube video I did earlier when I first broke this story. They had a long story. It was over 1,000-word long story about how this was the day before the story broke, when they didn't make payroll, that Elon Musk, what he's saying about USAID is a lie. And it was a whole story calling Elon Musk a liar about his claims that USAID was corrupt and doing all these things. And the next day, this dropped.
Yeah, well, did you happen to see the National Prayer Breakfast?
Of course.
Oh, okay. Did you happen to see the congressman from Indiana, a Democrat, who quoted from the Muslim Quran?
What?
Yeah, well, it was a prayer, and it was actually good. The first thing out of his mouth was that God made a man and a woman. And this came out of the Democrat's mouth. And he was actually kind of trying to bring people together. It was really odd. President Trump had just spoken about trying to get together, and in the old days they would go out to dinner, Republicans and Democrats, and how everybody thinks differently, but we got to get together, be united.
Well, here's the difference. In that time, what President Trump's talking about is when Tip O'Neill, he was the Speaker of the House, he was a Democrat, okay? When Ronald Reagan was president. And they were nasty to each other, but they used to hang out at night and stuff, okay? But there's a difference, because the Democrats then, they were wrong like they are now. Don't misunderstand me. But they were proud Americans, and we had the Democrats and the Republicans rightly had a lot of disagreements. The Democrats were terrible people. They, Jim Crow and all that, but they had a sense of American patriotism and believed in American excellence and all of this stuff. But now it's been hijacked by foreigners like Ilhan Omar and weirdos and lunatics, and the Democrat Party, and they hate this country. And it's we don't have that common bond as Americans with the Democrats that we used to have.
It's actually amazing how you can have one situation and have two completely different ideas about what it is. I mean, it used to be good and bad. I don't understand how you can.
Well, look at this thing with Presley, the bald-headed squad lady. And she's saying, what was it? Was it Iowa or Nebraska? She said there's too many white people there. She was in a congressional hearing. It's all over the place. I can't remember if it was Iowa, Nebraska. Iowa, yeah, and somehow that's what's running the country. That's what's running the Democrat Party and was running it for 4 years. I got to run. I'm late for the break, but thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. At the Bio Station, West Del Rey, Dr. Mitch Matez, an expert in hormone replacement therapy, is here to help you reclaim your youth. Hormone replacement therapy is all natural and can restore your hormones to where they were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, have more energy, and even get your sex drive back. And for women, hormone replacement pellet therapy can completely stop and reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. No more mood swings, better sleep, and no more night sweats. Call Dr. Matez for a free consultation today at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
To celebrate all my special occasions, Cafe Chardonnay is the place that I choose. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Dining at Cafe Chardonnay turns any ordinary evening into a special occasion. For over 30 years, owners Frank and Gigi have created a restaurant with a unique atmosphere, elegant yet warm and friendly. Cafe Chardonnay features today's freshest local farm produce and seafood just caught from the ocean. Cafe Chardonnay partners with nearby farmers, ranchers, and fishermen to provide the highest quality ingredients, and Chef Frank's talent combines these fresh ingredients to create delicious, novel, exciting dishes.
Make every evening a celebration at Cafe Chardonnay. Located in Palm Beach Gardens on the corner of PGA Boulevard and Military Military Trail. Call 561-627-2662. 561-627-2662. Online at cafechardonnay.com.
And be sure to enjoy a glass of wine from Cafe Chardonnay's legendary wine cellar.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning.
Roy, thank you.
Hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
All right, if you're on hold, stand by. It is open phones on Friday, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game. On Friday's show, our number 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'll remind you guys, free shipping is still in effect on all orders at mypillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. There are no catches to that. In order, we've been telling you for a while, free shipping on orders over $75. No, that's no more. It's free shipping on all orders. The cheapest thing I could find on the site of you can buy a pair of MyPillow socks, free shipping. It's a good deal. So it's a good time to load up, and if you're looking for a Valentine's Day gift, there is time, and there's great things there. The robes and the slippers make great Valentine's Day gifts, but it's free shipping site-wide on everything. So that's a very good deal with our promo code Kane at checkout. And on top of the huge savings you're getting on the deals because the mega sale's going on, you can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. All right, to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
In Louisville, we know about the New York Times and them getting paid by USAID. Remember, either just before or just after the election, Jeff Bezos had a big purge of people from the Washington Post. How many of those people that he purged from the Washington Post were getting paid by USAID?
I don't know.
So you got to understand how deep this thing is. Not just CNN and MSNBC. It's a lot of.
I mean, look at this. There's more going into this than we know. I mean, like yesterday, President Trump was talking about this. They had this one subscription to Politico that was like $10,000 a month or something. It was something ridiculous. Some $10,000 subscription to Politico. What's Politico offering worth of a $10,000 subscription? There's all these things that are going on, and of course they've all been canceled. People will go to prison over this. They will.
They will go to prison, and just remember, Ariana Huffington started the Huffington Post, right? Now, and she actually sold out to somebody. Who did she sell out to?
AOL, I think. America Online, AOL.
Yep, and how were they able to afford her? And
by the way, I still have an America Online email account. I don't know if any of you do. I got it. Yeah. It's I've had it since the days of dial-up, and I've kept it. I've got the AOL app on my phone, and I do get emails on it still. I don't. There's
Here's the deal with this thing. Mommy's home at the DOJ, and people are going to go to jail over this USAID thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, appreciate the call, Mike. Now, did you guys see Pam Bondi on Hannity last night? Oh my goodness, she did a great job. We're going to get to her in a little bit, but she's talking about these states and cities that say they're sanctuary cities. People are talking about Chicago, but there's other ones too. These illegals, and by the way, we're finding out that USAID was paying for the organization of the migrant caravans way down in South America, starting in Colombia. They have documents on this been coming out. I knew someone was behind funding these caravans. I was thinking it was China because I didn't know who, because too much money and infrastructure have to move that many people takes a lot of money, food, bathrooms, water along the way. And now we're finding out that USAID, the United States, we were paying for the invasion of our own country. But Pam Bondi, she was on Hannity last night, and she's talking about going after these sanctuary cities and communities. You cannot, as a state, a mayor or a local police force or local government, decide that your town is a sanctuary for federal fugitives. You can't do that. Now, they're saying there's sanctuary cities for the federal fugitives known as illegals, right? Immigrants. But what if they said, okay, Chicago's a sanctuary city for bank robbers? That's a federal crime. Oh, Chicago, we're into diversity. We're a sanctuary city for kidnappers across state lines and things. Those are all federal crimes. You can't do that. And the way things are going, I am expecting an arrest of a mayor, of a police chief, or a sheriff somewhere. And some of these people want to get arrested. They think that this is the days of the protest arrest, like back during Vietnam, that they'll be home by dinner. Pam Bondi is not Alvin Bragg. You get arrested by Pam Bondi, you're not going to be home for dinner. You know, and you are obstructing federal law enforcement. That's a very severe crime. You're harboring federal fugitives. These are felonies. Tom Holman wants to put handcuffs, he said yesterday, on whoever leaked out the tactical information on that Venezuelan gang raid. Okay, and they will. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff.
You took the words right out of my mouth. The first sheriff, county jail, or anybody that gets arrested, they're going to say we were under orders from the governor, and then the governor gets arrested. All this crap's going to stop in the Democrat states. And
well, I was just following orders. It's not going to fly. That's the Nuremberg defense.
No, but the good thing is they'll all go down.
There will, yes, and they're so stupid. They think that they'll be arrested like some civil disobedience, like during the civil rights movement. No, you are harboring federal fugitives. Martin Luther King and his people were not harboring federal fugitives. And you're also obstructing federal agents.
And federal agents will be coming to your door, and they're not going to knock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The time for civility's over. Now, when you do the crime, you're going to do the time. And it's going to be swift justice. There's not going to be a bunch of crap going on, years and years going on. When you violate federal crime, federal laws, it's a whole different ballgame.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're going to see them start falling like dominoes. And they're going to cave in immediately saying, I don't want that to happen. And they're going to abide by President Trump's federal law to get rid of all of them.
That's right. Yeah.
Wait for that to happen. The quicker, the better. Because when we clean up our streets, they're going to be safer. We're not going to see.
Well, you know what I'm starting. If you've noticed, there's not a lot of leftist reaction to what Trump's doing. They've already sent some of the illegals to Guantanamo Bay. I haven't seen any civil libertarians on TV griping about it, and I'm wondering, are we not seeing opposition from these ACLU types because the opposition in the past was fake paid opposition by USAID. And since USAID is not sending checks out as of last weekend, these people aren't getting paid. There's no opposition to any of this, if you notice.
And they were all, you're exactly right, because that money's gone. They're going to have to do it pro bono. I bet you all these activist groups, like the gun control groups and everything, are all funded by USAID. Yeah, the depth of the corruption of that is going to come to the surface now. Mm-hmm. Like you said, the ACLJ and all of those,
far less.
We haven't heard from any of them. Listen, I'm out of time, Jeff. We're up against the top, so I got to run. But are we not hearing from them because they're not getting paid by USAID? Was that opposition always paid fake opposition? 1 hour down, 2 to go. If you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be back right after our top of the hour break.
WSFS 104.3.
What do you guys think? I'll be right back, guys.
Saturday morning, high of 76 and sunny, low of 67. Saturday night, mostly clear. Sunday morning, a high of 77 degrees and sunny. And Sunday night, it's going to be mostly clear with a low of 69 degrees.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Northbound I-95, I'm seeing heavy delays just as you approach Belvedere Road. And more traffic for a new accident southbound on the Turnpike, blocking the left lane, approaching PGA Boulevard. The Turnpike also under speed on your off-ramp to Donald Ross Road. The rest of the county, major backups. That's traffic. I'm Zach.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Get your tickets today for the big game party in the Paddock Restaurant February 9th, featuring an incredible all-you-can-eat buffet, drink specials, prizes, and all the exciting action on over 140 HD TVs, 3 big screens, and a TV at every table. Don't miss our upcoming shows like Memories of Elvis Valentine's Day, Splish Splash, the music of Bobby Darin, comedian.
If you're on hold, hang in there.
The Pure Zeppelin Experience, and more. For tickets and info, go to bbkennelclub.com.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood looked at, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours for those big labs. That's why I go to any lab test now with Paulette. Any lab test now with Coral Springs for all of my lab. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, but their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I've been in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box. They also send it to my home. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only 2 advertising on our radio station, so don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now with Boca and any lab test now with Coral Springs. Any lab test now with Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Meadow Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard, on the east side of State Road 7. Any lab test now with Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Coral Springs. Call any lab test.
We'll be back shortly, guys. If you're on hold, hang in there. It is open phones every Friday. We call it Open Mega Mike Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning,
Yes, I'm back at the radio station today.
feet, muscle weakness, loss
It's nice to be back at the radio station.
muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used
Got a
tires.
bit of an announcement about Steve. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to mention it on the air or not.
Because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445.
Hey, Mike, we got to do Barry at 7:15 today.
Since 1977, it's the
Yeah, so
Steve
could you
Kane
call him
Show.
at, like, right going into it? Okay. Yeah, I'll do it coming out. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. We are back. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977, and day started off pretty good calls. It is Open Maga Mike Friday. Open phones. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Fridays. I'm not supposed. I don't know if I'm supposed to announce this, but I'll find out. Steve, his wife had an accident yesterday, and Steve will probably be off today, maybe Monday. His wife tripped on a tree root. I don't know if it was at home or out in public. I didn't think to ask that when I was talking to him. Steve's wife tripped on the root of a tree. She broke her collarbone and her arm, and she's got stitches over her eye on her head. And she's in massive pain. I mean, all kinds of massive pain. I've never broken some. I broke some toes a couple times when I was in high school, but yeah, and she's okay. And I'm assuming it's her left arm because I was texting her last night, and she texted me back pretty quick. And I said, when people see you, they're gonna. What? Let me tell you what I text her exactly. Hold on, I get it. Let me pull it up here on my text. I said. So she has a she broke her collarbone, and she broke her arm, and she has stitches over her eye. And I texted her. She texted me that, and I said, I texted her back. I says, people are going to think you got mugged or Steve beat the blank out of you, because that's what it looks like. I mean, it's pretty bad. That's a lot of pain that she's in. And she did respond to that tweet with an LOL. So she's in a lot of pain and okay, but Steve's going to take off, I'm sure, for a couple of days. Maybe we'll find out if he's on today or not to take care of his wife. But holy smokes, I mean, that sucks. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Bill from Sanford.
Hey, Bill.
This is Steve's wife.
Oh, yes.
At the fast recovery.
Oh, yeah.
The Dickerson administration. You know, under Biden administration, they arrested over 1,000 people, and they still had a list to go to, and that's stopped now. But this administration, when they go out and arrest these sheriffs or mayors or governors, it's because of a felony. And
by the way, that happens. We had a sheriff in Broward County who went to prison when he got arrested when he was the sitting sheriff, okay, and he went to prison. I've seen that. And Menendez, he just went to prison. He was a sitting United States senator, and they arrested him, and he's in prison or going to prison soon.
Right, and these people that Pam Bonnie's going to have get arrested are going to have access to an attorney. They may get bail, but they're going to get their due process. Not like what happened in 4 years under the Biden administration under a misdemeanor.
It's got to be done. You know, you can't. You know, you're up in Sanford. Orlando has historically been a sanctuary city, right? You cannot. You know, and I used to go. My friends, when I was in my 20s, my friends and I, from my radio buddies from different radio stations, we would go to Orlando just on the weekends to go hang out downtown at the bars and everything. You remember Church Street Station and all that? And a few years ago, I was staying in Orlando, and I went out into the city. I thought I was in Tijuana. I mean, it's just, they've destroyed, that sanctuary city has destroyed, which was one of the great cities in Florida. But anyway, you can't say our city is a sanctuary for federal fugitives. That's a crime. It's a crime.
Yeah. And let me tell you, back in those days, you know, Rosie O'Grady's and the Howl at the Moon. Mm-hmm. You can't do that anymore. I mean,
I had a friend that worked at it was an FM talk station in Orlando. They offered me a job, and I turned it down, thankfully so, because things changed right after that. 104 point something, Real Radio. I can't remember what the point was. And this guy, my friends from here, we'd go up there because all the clubs advertised on that station. So we got free drinks. That's really the reason we went. We got free drinks at all the clubs at Church Street Station. and the whole downtown, so, that's why we drove up to Orlando on the weekends, it was worth it.
Salute, too.
Oh, I don't remember the names, but they were, it was nice. But, I saw what the sanctuary city status did to Orlando. All that area is out of business now, and it's not nice.
Isn't Disney part of Orlando?
It's outside of Orlando. No, it's not. Orlando's like a 25-minute drive away.
Orange County is not essential.
Disney is in 2 counties. Disney World is in Orange and Osceola County. It covers 2 counties. It's a city in itself. But
They could probably pick up a lot of illegals at Disney World.
yeah, I remember. Oh, yeah. I remember my daughter and I when we were in Mexico and on one of our cruises, and we left. We didn't have a shore excursion with our group. This was like our first cruise, and we left. This is when we went to like the real part of Mexico that the tourists aren't supposed to go to, and I got robbed. I got robbed. We rented scooters, and they made me buy one of them, or they were going to call the Mexican police on me. So I had to. I had all the money, all the cash that my daughter and I had. I gave to these guys for this scooter in Cozumel. But we were deep into this area that the tourists don't go to, and I said it was my first time. My daughter had been out of the country, and I said, "What do you think it's like? We're in Mexico." She's like, "It's like being in Miami. It's the same thing, It was like she couldn't even tell the difference because she says they're Mexican here, Cuban there, but it's just like Miami. But no, the sanctuary city status, you can't do that. I mean, what if you said we're a sanctuary city for ISIS? We're a sanctuary city for bank robbers. You can't do that.
I believe that the Democrats may do that for ISIS, for Pete's sake.
If there was this one caller we had to ban because he said something very inappropriate about Steve's wife, okay? Taliban Pat got that name because we gave him that name when Saddam Hussein was on the run. And he said that if Saddam Hussein knocked on his door, he would let him stay at his house and hide him. But just yesterday, I saw this in the Daily Mail. Let's see here. What town was this? This Long Island town, East Hampton. Listen to this. The wealthy residents of East Hampton went into panic mode over the possibility that their hired help could face expulsion from the U.S. as part of President Trump's deportation program. Okay? And they had a town hall meeting. The exclusive Long Island village, with an average home value of $2 million, with residents that include the daughters of Sylvester Stallone, held an emergency meeting. This was this last night, amid fears that ICE would round up their employees. The lawn guy, the nanny, the maid. East Hampton's town police chief, Michael Sarlo, tried to quell their fears by insisting that local cops were not required to assist ICE. The only way any of my officers could ever enforce federal immigration law is if they're deputized. Well, they may do that. So anyway, this leak in Colorado, I wouldn't be surprised if it was local law enforcement, because what happens when federal agents, when they have a big raid like they had yesterday in Colorado, or if they went to East Hampton here in Long Island, they have to tell local law enforcement so that when people see a bunch of guys with rifles and call 911, the local cops know that, oh, no, that's ICE. That's the FBI. You understand what I mean? And I wouldn't be surprised if local law enforcement in Colorado tipped off the Venezuelan gang that Tom Homan was coming to get them. And if somebody does that, they will get arrested.
Tom Homan could be putting his deputies out in front of all gated communities to pick up all the illegals.
Well, what what they're saying is we're going to lose our slave labor. Is what they're saying. They're like, we're going to lose our maids, we're going to lose our lawn guys, we're going to lose the hired help. They don't pay them that much. They're going to lose their slave labor, just like the Democrats in the 1850s.
Well, not only that, they're not contributing to the tax base when they don't when they pay them cash. So we're losing out on monies going to men.
Well, and these people paying them under the table, they're not paying their or the local New York taxes on that.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of crimes with that. But basically, this meeting was, don't worry, your slaves will be okay, the chief said. These people they don't understand that there's been a change in this country.
Yeah, wait until how Tom Ullman shows up at their meeting.
Mm-hmm.
They have a little different outlook.
I would not be, do you remember, they stopped doing this because I guess the ACLU. But back in the 80s and 90s, remember how they used to do those they would arrest all the federal fugitives? They would send them letters in the mail telling them to come to such and such hotel. You won tickets to the Super Bowl or something. Remember that? Remember that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was great stuff. And they used to get these guys all the time, or they used to do them in New York, telling them they'd send out letters to the wanted felon and federal or wanted fugitives that they had warrants on in New York. Oh, you won tickets to the Yankees game, and they'd come, and it was the cops. I would not be surprised, because Tom Homan's brilliant. If they organize local town hall meetings for the migrants to come to rally about how they can avoid ICE, and it turns out to be a raid, I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. It doesn't matter if I talk about it. I'm speaking English. They don't understand the English. But I would love Tom Homan to pull a stunt like that.
Oh God, that would be good. And then film it. That would be great. Oh God.
Yeah.
He would scare me.
I remember when they used to do those raids. Like they would send all the guys that had warrants in a town. They would send them all letters that they want a trip to Europe, but you got to come to such and such place to collect it. And they would have guys there, and the police would be undercover. Oh, come on in, and they'd get ready to do the presentation, but they'd come out and you're all under arrest. You know what I mean? And they used to do that all the time. I don't know. I guess they stopped it because the civil libertarians. It had to be.
Yeah. I think you're right.
You remember those?
Yeah, because of
they were funny.
Or something like
Oh, I used to crack up at those things. All right, appreciate the call, man. Take care. I cannot be the only one who remembers those. They were very high profile too, and criminals are stupid. They get busted every time. All right, we'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon, one of the DJs here at the True Oldies channel. Hope you're enjoying the Kane Show with Brian. And we want to remind you that at 10 this morning, the Oldies look back. The greatest hits of the 60s and 70s. Right here on the True Oldies channel.
Thank you, Roy. Mike, what do I have this hour, Joe? Okay. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. Yes, yeah, because I might forget. Yeah. Yes, yeah, if you could.
You always want me to keep up just in case. I just don't want to
I'll forget. Yeah, I'll forget.
sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Roofing carries all insurance, including workers' compensation on all of its employees. Not just a waiver like other contractors. Laporta Roofing can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing, HOAs, condominiums, and churches. If it's roofing, Laporta Roofing can do it. So call Tom Laporta on his cell phone, 954-604-4602. Or connect online at LaportaRoofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602. Laporta Roofing, the go-to roofing company you can trust.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM. 96.9 FM and anywhere in the world.
All right, we are back. Callers on hold, stand by on this Friday, February 7th. It's time to check in with attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Happy Friday, Barry Siegel.
Yeah, thank you. Happy Friday, Brian. Today I wanted to talk about, of course, a huge threat that we all have as we age, the cost of long-term care.
Oh, boy, yeah.
If you don't have long-term care insurance, two pieces of advice for you. Either go out there and get it, if you can get it and afford it, or call us. Because if you don't have long-term care insurance, or you're worried that you may not have enough, you need to call us, because you're putting your family's future at risk by not having a plan. And if your plan is that nothing's going to happen to me or nothing's going to happen to my spouse, we're going to be healthy until the day we die, well, that could be the case, and I hope that's the case for all of you listening, but that's not reality. 50% of us are going to need long-term care, and long-term care is very expensive. And if your plan is to pay for it out of your own assets, unless you're, ultra wealthy, you are putting your financial future and the financial future of your spouse and the financial future of your children at risk. And that's why you need to come see us. We're elder law attorneys. We help people qualify for government benefits, even though they have too much assets, too much income. They could still qualify, but you need to plan ahead, and that's why you need to call us and come in and see us as soon as possible.
Yeah, and this is, let me ask you, Barry, because we talk about this a lot, but I just want to, for people that may not know, this planning, it covers both home care and nursing home care and all that assisted living and stuff. This is something you can do in advance, right? Not when you need it, but this is something you could do well in advance of when you reach that stage?
Yeah, there's really two levels. There's, let's say if somebody is calling today and saying, my friend or my spouse or the parent is needing care now, or they're already receiving care and we're spending all this money, can you help us? The answer is typically yes, but it depends on the situation. So that's a crisis case. That means that they need the care now. We need to get them qualified now. But then there are the pre-planning cases. That means, let's say a married couple comes in to see us. They're good, they're healthy, things are fine, but they want to plan ahead to make sure that when that time comes, everything is ready, that they're in a position where they can qualify. Because we do get some people who come in who have not pre-planned, and there may not be a road or a path to getting qualification. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. If we pre-plan, we'll be able to tell you, hey, yes, there is a path. What we need to do is this or this or this in advance, and then we can, be sure that you can qualify.
So if you're in a crisis situation, call the Siegel Law Group. But to do this, but it's best to do it before you need it, pre-need.
Right. It's best to and a lot of times we can have those conversations during people's estate planning consultation well, because it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, there you go, guys. All right, so listen, it's always a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mentioned you heard attorney Barry Siegel on the program, and of course offices throughout South Florida with the primary office in Boca, but you have offices from Miami north to Palm Beach Gardens, and of course your office in Naples too on the West Coast. Give the Siegel Law Group a call, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, siegellawgroup.com. All right, have a great weekend, Barry. We'll talk next week. All right. Take care. There's only one opening on our board, and I'm doing my best to take these calls in the order in which they were received. Now, remember, it is open phones on Friday. Open Mega Mike Friday. Okay, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning,
Oh, hey, Doug.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear about Steve's wife, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man, she's in bad shape. She's, I don't know, hopefully she'll be better quick. Anyway, this is great. I'm waiting every day now to hear what the new thing President Trump is going to do. I'm getting spoiled. I want to hear something.
I know, right?
Yesterday, there's no more men in sports. And then in the women's sports, this is fantastic.
You know, it was so refreshing. You know, when President Trump signed that executive order with the ladies' sports, he was surrounded by women and girls of all ages, and he didn't sniff any of their hair.
I noticed that, yeah.
Everyone noticed that. That's what everyone was saying. I'm sure. They were, yeah.
I'm telling you, this is great. You know, what I want to know is, all this money being spent away, who's the person who was signing away those?
Well, we find out that Powers, who was Obama's UN ambassador, has been running the organization. So it's been her for however long. You know, I got to tell you, though, that executive order about the women's sports, Riley Gaines, it's really interesting when there are people throughout history, you know, women that are historical figures. Susan B. Anthony, right? The suffragettes, you know, to get women the vote. Rosa Parks. But Riley Gaines is up there. This is not an exaggeration. She is up there with Rosa Parks and Susan B. Anthony. She really is Riley Gaines. And if you notice, when President Trump was handing out all the signature pens, he grabbed a whole handful and said, Riley, and gave her a whole handful of the signature pens. You know, and those are historical artifacts. And she really is, I know that we know, but I don't think she's put in the proper perspective of all that happened because of her.
Oh, yeah. Everything is based on, but first of all, the whole thing was ridiculous. I could have men...
completely stupid.
You know, they went for it. These people are nuts on that side. Yeah, and the liberals that I've been talking to, oh, man. Oh, what is President Trump think? He's a dictator now, and who's this Musk? Why is he involved in the government and hurting our money? I said, you know, what are you talking about? He's just working for President Trump. President Trump decides, what's wrong with you people? Well, I said, so you don't like Elon Musk doing it? So if somebody else did it, that would be okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, the things that these people do, I remember we used to do these things in high school to raise money for different clubs. Like I was in Key Club and stuff, and we used to do these things. There was this one thing we used to do where the football team did this thing where they would raise money, where they would dress as girls. And they did something to do a fundraiser for, I can't remember exactly what it was. And I remember when I was a senior, there was a thing that we did every senior class did every year to raise money. And I don't remember what the money was for. I don't know if it was for grad night or prom. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I was in high school. And you couldn't do that thing with the dressing up as a girl because that would be offensive to the trans. But we used to do a thing called Senior Slave Day, where you could buy a senior for the day to be your slave. And you did Senior Slave Day?
My school did it, yeah.
Could you imagine if you tried that today? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, they would go nuts. Senior Slave Day, how could you do that? And they did biddings and auctions. It was like a senior slave auction. Nobody thought anything of it. It was funny, you know. But you can't do these things anymore.
You even had girls selling kisses, so anything to make money.
Yes, exactly. The girls would sell kisses. Absolutely, yeah.
Good times. But anyway, the last thing I want to say is, I never told you President Trump was going to lose. I said he's going to win unless they cheated again. That's it. But I thought he won.
You're always doom and gloom.
No, not good. I always look at it like you have to watch out to the other side all the time.
Mm-hmm.
These people are as low as you can possibly be, and lower than that. So you always got to be careful.
All right, listen, I got to run, but thanks for the call. All right, we're a little messed up on the breaks. I'm going to take one more call. We're already late on the break, but I'm going to take one more call before the break, and then I'll get back to your calls after the bottom, all right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right, you missed your opportunity. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Dave in Virginia.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, Brian, I just wondered, out of the 6 million Social Security numbers that they found that they're probably dead, I wonder how many of them voted for...
Who? I didn't hear this. I didn't hear the Social Security number thing. What's that about?
Elon Musk found out that there was 6 million Social Security numbers that he found that the people were over 112 years old.
Oh, wow. Well, my guess is that the question, you're asking the wrong question. The question is, where's their Social Security checks being sent, and have they been cashed? That's what that's about.
Yes.
I wonder where that, I mean, that's a lot. Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness. Oh, I missed that one. You know, if you want to know what's going on with USAID, follow Elon Musk on X, because not only is he in charge of Doge and they're finding all this information, as soon as they uncover something, he posts it on X. And that's the number one news source, that's the number one news, I don't know what you would call it, platform in the world. And it's crazy. But that's not surprising. How many? 6 million?
Yeah, 6 million. And I also hope that Donald Trump will make it a law where they can't burn the American flag.
That should be well, you know what though? I got a question about that. When I was in Boy Scouts, that's how you dispose of the flag. You got to burn it. So how would we You know, a friend of mine who was on the radio down here, some of you remember Al Rantel, he moved to L.A. and he was on the air on KABC out there. And he was a conservative gay guy on the radio here, but I guess his true colors came out. He was openly gay and conservative, but he went to L.A. and he did something that was insane. He invited black listeners to come to the radio station, and they got to burn Confederate flags in the parking lot of the radio station. It's stupid. Did they feel good doing it? Yeah, they were trying. I remember in the 90s, they were trying to pass a bill in Congress about burning the American flag. And of course they say First Amendment. I don't agree, remember when that one idiot was going to burn the Qurans at Ground Zero down the street from a mosque, and it was stopped because some things you just are not appropriate. It might be legal to do certain things, but you just don't do it. But I remember there were two arguments they made against passing a bill against burning the American flag. It was flag desecration is what they called it. It wasn't specific about burning. They said if it's a federal crime to desecrate the flag, could you make a necktie out of the American flag? Could you make a shirt out of, you know what I mean? Could you have a flag tie? Could you have a flag shirt? And they got into all these weirdo things. But no, I think you should be forbidden from burning or desecrating the American flag in any form of protest. I agree with that. That's just, it's inappropriate.
Yes.
By the way, I would support a law that stopped you. I would support a law stopping you from doing that to the Bible, the Quran as well. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll take our break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. For same-day AC service and installation, here's your oldies forecast.
Moments of Scripture, every Sunday at 6 a.m.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 48 years on the air.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. It is Open Phones, Open Maga Mike Friday. I'm going to try to get us back on break schedule in this segment. So we'll be on schedule for the rest of the show. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Johnny from Pittsburgh. So I wanted to kind of shift back toward ice. So I hear they're doing raids on Walmart parking lots in general after illegal gig workers. What are your thoughts on that, and do you think they should expand that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a federal fugitive, you should be arrested, wherever you are, right?
Oh, I agree on that, but I think it's great for us Americans to have more opportunity again now that the illegal gig workers will be gone.
The illegal gig workers? Who are these illegal? You mean like the day workers?
No, like they're on the gig apps. They bought illegal accounts on Facebook or whatever, and they're using someone else's their identity theft too.
Oh, yeah, okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. This is something that I found out not that long ago. Yeah, I did not know this. A lot of people that are like Uber, Lyft drivers or DoorDash or something, or Uber Eats, they're illegals that use somebody else's account. That is correct. Yes, that's a big problem. It is. Yeah. I know. I didn't know people did that, but they do.
Yeah, because in the last few years under this last administration, we've seen a significant nosedive in the volume of orders. And according to the math, what the overall volume says, we shouldn't have seen that big of a hit.
Yeah.
It tells me that it's true that they are. And allegedly, the apps, if you're 100% AR, so if they're ignorant and just take everything, they don't prompt the ID check, even though they do have photos. But if they slip up, they'll get them that way.
Okay.
It doesn't work. And the ID checks only, like me, for example, the AI doesn't work, and it'll say my face is not real.
What do you do? Which one of the apps do you drive for?
Almost all of them.
Oh, at the same time, like Lyft, Uber Eats, and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm multi-app and I'm a gig tuber. Same here, Bud Zone on YouTube.
What is it? What's your channel? I'll look you up. What are you on YouTube?
Bud Soda, I have a live every Tuesday at 9. BUDSODA.
Okay.
WYLD, he's out of Florida.
All right. I watch a lot of guys online that have YouTube channels that are like DoorDash drivers and stuff. I watch some of that. It looks like a tough way to make a living. I mean, do you really when you factor in gas and wear and tear in your vehicle and everything, are you making money or breaking even?
So 2021, the first year, I did really, really well before it really went downhill. I made 61 after taxes, after all deductions. And past year, I made like probably 40 something after taxes. So it's a significant dive. But yeah, there's guys who do 6 figures gross every year.
6 figures doing like come on, how many hours do they work?
That's the great thing about gig work. You can work as much as you want. And it's really risky to do so, but you can you do more apps that are pre-scheduled, like catering and last mile delivery and medical care, those kind of things. You could make the better money versus, DoorDash and all them are just filler.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck. I appreciate the call. That's a tough way to make a living. You know why that business is going down, not because of what he thinks. It's expensive. My wife can't drive and stuff. Okay, she's homebound. So she'll sometimes order DoorDash and stuff. We'll do DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff. And the difference in price when you do that as opposed to getting in person, it's a lot of money. It really is. And with the grocery shopping, I don't mind it because the Instacart, because you don't buy any. If I go to the grocery store, I'm buying Twizzlers, I'm buying potato chips, I'm buying Pepsi, I'm buying, I get all the extras. If I do the Instacart, you only get the list. So even though it costs a little bit more, we save money and spend less. But like if you do takeout through the apps, it's a lot more money. It really is. That's why that business is slowing down for some of the drivers. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ken calling from Jupiter.
Hey, Ken.
Kind of a thing that...
Did you say the Ken or just Ken?
I said Ken.
Oh, I thought you said the Ken. Okay. Sounded like... Anyway, yeah, what's on your mind, Ken?
The Lake and Riley Act, which President Trump signed into law, and I don't understand, except for Trump derangement syndrome, why Democrats stood against that. And I can speak locally because I'm in the Palm Beach County area.
I can give you an answer. What the question is, you know, Lincoln Riley was the girl who was murdered by that illegal, right? By the Kamala Dreamer. Okay? I'm going to tell you why the Democrats oppose that, but why do you, before I tell you, why do you think they opposed it? Or maybe you don't know, because you asked the question.
I just think they just want to stand up against Trump. They want to pander to their direct...
No, I'll tell you why. Lincoln Riley was white, and the guy that killed her wasn't, and they hate white people. They think there's too many white people, and one less white person equals things out for them. That's why. And I know that sounds crude, but that's true. I mean, that's why I was talking about Presley yesterday. There's too many white people in Iowa. What's wrong? You know, I mean, they're racist. And you know, Lincoln Riley, by the way, Lincoln Riley, she may not have survived it anyway with that monster, but he did not rape her. She fought to the death and would not let him rape her. You know, I mean, these people on the left are sick, twisted weirdos. There's nobody in their right mind would oppose that.
Exactly. And two in particular, what was it, Wasserman Schultz, who voted twice against it. Same thing with that, what's that fossil's name, Frankel? Lois Frankel.
Lois Frankel is, you know, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz are insane. They're insane. Lois Frankel used to be the mayor of West Palm, I believe, and she made her way into Congress. And these are just nasty, out of date. You know what they're like? They're people from another time. They're this modern era that we're in. They don't understand. You know, Jennings is the conservative guy on CNN, and he said something to the liberals on his panel on CNN yesterday that was so smart. Yeah, oh yeah, he is fantastic. He said yesterday to the panel of liberal jerks, they were talking about why Democrats aren't performing well, and he says on these issues that are 80-20, the 80s in favor of, the Democrats are always taking the 20% side now. The Lincoln Riley Act would be one of those examples.
I would love to see when these people are up for re-election, and this doesn't matter whatever part of the country, if anybody's listening, is to question these people. What was the reason you voted against that?
Yeah.
After people, I think they should be
ashamed of themselves.
Hard pressed on that.
Yeah. All right, appreciate the call from Jupiter. All right, take care. We'll be right back.
Hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Brian here. Right now, Mike Lindell at MyPillow is offering his first ever mega sale. With our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, you can save big money on top MyPillow products, the MyPillow sheets, the MyPillow 6-piece towel set, the MyPillow that started it all, and much, much more. And free shipping on all orders. That's right, free shipping on all orders with our promo code KANE at checkout. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
All right, we're back. Oh, that's where Barry was going to be. Well, we had to move Barry early. Okay. I was wondering. That was a short break. I'm glad I didn't make a run for the men's room. I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. I was mentioning in the first hour, there's a new commercial we're running. One of our nice listeners, nice lady, called in and talked about the great experience that she had with Joe Thomas. I'm sure you've heard it. And that commercial is 1 minute. I probably shouldn't say this because management might get upset. It's long. It's 1 minute and 31 seconds long. Commercials are supposed to be 30 or 60. And the commercials I do never are 30 or 60 seconds. And I get in trouble for this all the time. Believe me, I'm always getting talked to about the length of the commercials. But she's a nice lady. She called in and she said all these nice things about her experience with Jupiter Joe Thomas. And, and I had to edit down. It was a call. I had to edit it down into that commercial. And I had to leave time for me to give Joe Thomas's phone number and website at the end. And even though it's 31 seconds longer than it's supposed to be, I had to edit out some of the compliments she made about Joe. Because it was the commercial would be about 2.5 minutes, maybe even 3. If I didn't edit out, it was getting too long. I mean, she was just going on and on. He is a good guy. And he'll take very good care of you. And, I've, over my life, I've known a lot of people that are in the financial planning business. I've never known someone who tailored what they do so uniquely to their client. And what I mean by that is what your income level is, what your goal is, how much money you have, what you need, all that stuff. The financial planners I've known before Joe Thomas, it's cookie cutter. Not with Joe. And he offers free phone consultations. And you should really take advantage of this because he'll have a conversation and you can take advantage of the free phone consultation no matter where you're located. And Joe Thomas, he'll talk to you about those things I just mentioned, your situation, your goals, your needs. And he will give you a custom proposal, based on you, your situation, and your needs and wants. Okay? So give him a call, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number, it's on his website, jupiterjoe.com. All right? Okay. If you're on hold, hang in there. Have you seen this story that this is, Casey DeSantis makes shock election bid. His husband completes final term as governor. This story's all over the place. Everyone's talking about it. Casey DeSantis could be set to replace her husband as the governor of Florida when he's term limited out of the role. Insiders claim the mother of 3 is seriously considering a bid as the Republican candidate in 26 at the behest of donors who think she'd be a great fit. Okay, and then it goes with a lot of gobbledygook. This is nonsense, okay? What's going on here is Casey DeSantis, okay, she's fantasizing. And Casey DeSantis and her friends have leaked this out so that people will talk about it and they can gauge what the reaction would be to her wanting to be the governess of Florida. And I'm here to tell you, no one was a bigger supporter of her husband than me, right? We used to call this Ron DeSantis' Free Florida. When's the last time you heard that? Her husband is a damned liar. She lied to the president. He lied to the president. To his face, they lied to him, and they lied to all of us in Florida. He got reelected. He got elected based on a lie. He was losing the primary. He would have lost the primary if President Trump had not endorsed him, and he ran on that for reelection too. And what did he do? As soon as he won re-election, he betrayed MAGA, all of us who supported him. He betrayed Trump. And he would have ended up being the running mate with Nikki Haley if they would have put Trump in jail. So keep dreaming, Casey DeSantis. I mean, come on. I'm sorry, I predict they're going to get divorced. I predicted this a year ago or so. He is unelectable forever in the state of Florida. Unelectable forever. And when they realize this, they're in trouble. They're in trouble because he's going to have to go out and get a regular job, which he's never had, and he doesn't want to do it. So I predicted divorce. I would not be. This is another prediction I made about Ron DeSantis because, we got this Senate seat's going to open up in 2 years, and if he wouldn't have messed up, he might be the Attorney General right now, not Pam Bondi. But he would have been positioned to at least be the senator in 2 years, because that Senate appointment he made is just till the next election. That's done too, okay? Now, we're going to have a tough decision to make, because it is possible that he runs for the Senate or something and wins the primary, and then we got him or some lunatic Democrat. So if he were to win the Senate primary, I'm not going to vote for a Democrat or let a Democrat take that Senate seat. So I would have to vote for him over that, because it helps us with the majority. But I believe he's unelectable in the state of Florida. I really do believe that. Now, the Bushes run the Florida GOP, so they may be able to pave a way for him to get a primary victory in the Senate race or something. I wouldn't be surprised. But the other prediction I made about DeSantis, when they find out he's unelectable, if they can't squeeze some scam with the Bushes, I always expect him to end up on the board of directors at Disney, because he's had such conflict with Disney, and there's been, he's in a position to make concessions, which I think they've done, and I could see DeSantis on the board of directors of Disney, which is a golden parachute kind of thing. That would not surprise me at all. Okay, Disney kicked his butt. He lost to Disney. Okay, Disney did not lose to DeSantis. I know that's how it's spun. Disney has more authority over that area than they had before, and before DeSantis got involved, DeSantis screwed that Disney thing up. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll just finish with this. I bring this up. Remember we were talking about Orlando versus Disney. Disney had their own government and area. Really, literally, their world. And Disney, since that park opened in 1971, and I remember because it's the year I was born, October 1971, Disney World opened. Disney, they had their own fire department and everything. They had to pay for their own fire department, including their pension plans. They had to maintain the roads in that area, that Reedy Creek area. They had to pay for the electrical plant and the electrical grid. They had to pay for the water treatment processing and plant and all of that. And when this deal was over with DeSantis screwed it up so much, Disney had more power, and they got the state of Florida to pay for the fire department, maintain the roads, and the electrical grid, and the water, and all that. The state of Florida pays for that now. Disney used to have to pay for it. And that was their profits right out the window. So no, he blew that deal. But Casey DeSantis, if they're gauging the conversations on this program as to whether or not she's a credible candidate to run for governor, no. In fact, Ron and Casey DeSantis couldn't get elected as the president of the Homeowners Association, even at the villages right now. That's how much people are pissed at Ron DeSantis. Now, that doesn't mean that he doesn't do some things that are good still. He's fighting these Bush Republicans to help President Trump and Tom Homan arrest the illegals in Florida, and that's all good and all, but we can't trust him. All right, that's it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice. All right. And, here we are. It's one of those days, guys. We're coming up on the top anyway. We'll go back to the phones after the top because there's a couple other things that I want to mention. Pam Bondi, okay, not only is she going after the sanctuary cities, and she will arrest local police and government officials who obstruct. And I'm telling you, this leak in Colorado Springs with the Homan raid yesterday, I don't think it was the media leak. I think it was local government or local police. And I was mentioning earlier, and Tom Homan, they may not do this anymore. When the feds do a raid, they let the local police know. Because, if they have 50 Homeland Security SWAT team guys and tack gear and rifles go into an apartment building, people might call 911 and get nervous when they look out the window and see a bunch of guys with rifles. So they tell the local police. And the police in these sanctuary cities are liberal too. So I think it was, and the local governments find out too, city managers and mayors. I think the leak probably came from the local police or the local government. I think blaming the media is a distraction. They're trying to get the person that did it, and they're giving them a little feeling of comfort. So, but also Pam Bondi is going after Letitia, Fannie Willis, Jack Smith, and the lawfare people. Oh, and I left out the big one, Bragg. She's looking into those cases. And you know who else she's going to look into? Judge Mershon and the daughter that raised $100 million from the Democrats. That's the one. Yeah, that's right. And she's also going to look into that property case, Judge, too, in that case. That's the Letitia James case. These lawfare people are going to be brought to justice. And I'm going to tell you something. She was our attorney general here in Florida. She does not play around, Pam Bondi. You know how Tom Homan is? She's like Tom Homan tough. You don't want to mess with these people. They are not playing games. The people they're going after, it's not revenge, it's called justice, okay? You know, when people break the law, even if they're government officials and you arrest them, I mean, you know, is it lawfare that Menendez was arrested for taking bribes? Of course not. He's a criminal, just like Fannie and Letitia and Bragg and Mershon. And Judge Ngoron is the one in the property Mar-a-Lago case. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It is Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. We'll be back right after our top of the hour break.
USFS 103 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and Huron Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
This Friday morning and throughout the day, we have a high of 77 degrees and sunny. Tonight, it's going to be a low of 70 degrees and mostly clear. Over the weekend, Saturday morning, high of 76 and sunny. Low of 67 Saturday night and mostly clear. Sunday morning, a high of 77 degrees and sunny. And Sunday night, it's going to be mostly clear with a low of 69 degrees.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Look out for a brand new accident reported at Haverhill Road and White Feather Trail, and an earlier crash from Boynton Beach Boulevard and Jog Road cleared off the roadway. And at Belvedere Road and Clubhouse Drive, that accident still blocking a lane. The rest of the county free of major backups. That's traffic. I'm Zach.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Get your tickets today for the big game party in the Paddock Restaurant February 9th, featuring an incredible all-you-can-eat buffet, drink specials, prizes, and all the exciting action on over 140 HD TVs, 3 big screens, and a TV at every table. Don't miss our upcoming shows like Memories of Elvis Valentine's Day, Splish Splash, the music of Bobby Darin, comedian Patrick Putty Warburton, the Pure Zeppelin Experience, and more. For tickets and info, go to ppkennelclub.com.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed. And you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only 2 advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them about them on the radio.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right. Hour number 3 has begun. Call us on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. I just mentioned this again for people that missed it. Steve will be off today, maybe Monday. His wife had an accident yesterday. And I'll find out later if I'm not supposed to mention this. But I think people should know that, especially that are personal friends. Steve's wife yesterday tripped on a tree root. I don't know if it was at home. Could be. Steve's got some crazy trees over at his place or out and about. But Steve's wife tripped on a tree root. She fell. She broke her collarbone. She broke her arm. And she has stitches above on her head. So she got hurt pretty bad. So Steve is taking care of her. I thought he might come in today, but I don't think so. I haven't heard from him today. But she's in a lot of pain. A lot of pain. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Dave from Detroit.
Yes, Dave.
Yeah. Just another day under the fascist convicted felon Trump and his
Excuse me. What? And his what wife?
Euro trash.
Huh. Are you a married man? Are you a married man?
Don't worry about me. Just think about
No, I mean, what kind of person says that about a woman? What kind of man are you to say something like that about a woman?
what kind of woman poses nude. That Euro trash.
A beautiful woman posing for artistic photographs, which you've obviously looked at and enjoyed. So what does that make you? A perv? So you're a perv? You're a perv?
Did you look at naked pictures of women? Unlike you, they probably look at naked pictures of guys.
No, I don't. I don't go around using. You know what? You're into. You have a. Excuse me. You have a very bizarre sexual fetish. You are into that humiliation thing because you keep saying you've looked at the nude pictures. You've enjoyed the pictures, and then you keep saying all these nasty, insulting things. You are a pervert, and you have a sexual fetish. You're into that. You like to humiliate women because you're saying you're saying these nasty things, and you're turning yourself on by you're fantasizing. You're having sexual fantasies. See, you're still doing it. You're having a sexual fantasy, and you're getting upset because this reality is bringing you out of your fantasy. What a sad guy you are.
Yeah, still not as bad as you, little boy.
If I'm sad, why do you call me? If I'm sad, why do you call me? I don't call you.
It's entertainment.
Oh, so I'm not sad. I'm entertaining. Okay.
Yeah, okay, little boy.
Is that yeah.
See that Ivanka Trump also is taking money from that fund, so she's also going to get arrested, correct?
No.
Yeah.
No.
She took money from the fund.
There's a difference between she had a small project that was excuse me. I'm going to give you an answer. She was involved in a small project that used some USAID that was funded in part by USAID. There's a difference. If you can take money from an organization for legitimate reasons, or you can take it for fraudulent reasons. And the things we've been, like the $50 million that they gave the New York Times, that's fraudulent. The federal government's not supposed to be funding media. That's fraud. Paying for a project is not fraud.
Camera equipment is not media.
If she was part of the first she was doing something in her role as a member of the first family that is different than Politico paying salaries with it. Or the Clintons have gotten over $100 million for God knows what. We don't know. But those are fraudulent things. There's a difference.
They did good, honest work for it.
Really, what did Chelsea Clinton do that was worth $84 million? Could you tell me?
For her intellectual property. She's very smart.
Name me one of Chelsea Clinton's intellectual you obviously haven't heard her speak. She's a very stupid person. Tell me one of her.
That's really smart on
Yeah, she's stupid.
you. It's okay.
I'm not the same as you. You're having a sexual deviant fantasy of nude photographs with women with a humiliation fantasy.
I mean, I can call you stupid.
Well, that would be inaccurate. You would just no.
Oh.
I have heard. Oh, now he's back into other things with. You're really a perv. You really are.
What?
That's he. Oh, you said yes.
Beat up freedom, beat up cops, and let them free. So you're un-American.
Oh, really? What makes somebody an American to you? What makes someone an American?
You are agreeing that that President Trump let the felons go that beat the cops up, and you're okay with that?
I don't know anybody that he let go that beat up a cop. Who beat up a cop? Yeah. The January 6th, they're a little vague. Who beat up a cop? What's their name and who they beat up? The only person that's getting beat up is you right now in this conversation. You're looking really bad.
You're so terrible at it. You keep trying to insult me. It's okay.
No, I'm not insulting. You're doing a fine job of yourself. The more you talk, the more you insult yourself.
Right. Are you going to go home and get pegged by your wife tonight?
See, there he is. See, there he is with the female humiliation fantasies again.
Violation about it. It's okay if she does it to you. We understand.
Yeah.
Little boy.
Is that another one of your fetishes? You're done with me? Oh my goodness, that's pretty gross. If he's done with me, that's pretty gross. We've reached a point in that conversation. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know, in the whole world of online porn, that guy's got to call me. He's probably used it so much, it doesn't do it for him anymore, so he's got to find other outlets. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Rob from Knoxville.
Oh, great follow-up for you, Rob.
I was just going to say the same darn thing. You know what? There's some people you need to cut off, and I've heard that guy talk before, and he is absolutely ridiculous. And he brought my blood pressure up so much, he turned my phone call off. Hey, Rabbi David called yesterday, and I'm as incensed as he is about all the money that has been taken out of our federal budget to pay all these clowns. And number two, Doug had a good point, conservative Doug. He was nervous, and I'm still nervous about Arizona. I want to see Katie Hobbs.
Listen, why? You know, if Katie Hobbs obstructs Holman, yeah, that would be wonderful.
I agree. She makes me sick. They put the big kibosh on, her opponent last. It's just ridiculous down there. It's so crooked in Arizona, at least on election.
Wasn't Billy the Kid from Arizona?
Actually, it was from Northern Illinois.
No. But when he did, I'm not talking about originally. When he was doing all of his gunfighting, wasn't that in Arizona? It's a state of outlaws.
Yes, you're correct. I'm going to get hit with capital gains tax. I got the heck out of that liberal village in Deerfield Beach and sold my condo for a little bit of money, and I live in Knoxville now.
Ugh, yuck.
And, no, Knoxville's nice.
It's gonna be 84 degrees today in South Florida. What's it gonna be in Knoxville?
That's okay, but Knoxville's just fine. I'm not getting hit with.
Yeah, but you don't have a.
Dollars, and they were bait and switching me. They told me they'd be 500, and it went up 200. So and it never.
You had to leave the state. You couldn't find a community, but you don't have the beach in Knoxville.
No, I go down with my buddies I'm gonna go 10 days down at Deerfield.
All right, it's open phones, but this is getting a little too carried away. All right, appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes.
Oh, good morning. This is Joan in Tampa Bay. How's it going?
All right, Joan, I'm trying to get some buffer between that one caller and our next commercial break.
See on the media news, is they're running the things like with Maxine Water and Shifty Shift talking about all your information's being, shown to these people. But the thing is, the federal government put all your information out.
Oh, okay. Now, first, okay, I'm glad you brought this up. There was something I wanted to play. Hold on, let me pull this up. There was something I wanted to play, and I'd forgotten about it, and you've reminded me. I'll have to pull it up during the break. First off, the Doge people, two of them that have access to this work for the Treasury Department and were personally interviewed by the Treasury Secretary. Okay? I got the audio of him talking about it. One of these bright reporters thought they had him, and he explained it to them. I'll pull it up while we're talking. But, and also, they only have read-only access. They can't alter anything.
I had 20 years in banking. Do you know how many accounts, social security numbers, names that I saw every day? I don't remember any of it. You go through so many numbers. I was in operations. You go through so many numbers and so many accounts in any given day. You don't remember who these people are.
That's true. That's true. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. I'm going to play that audio, okay? So let me pull this up. This is the Treasury Secretary is being interviewed by this liberal idiot, and I had it queued up, and they've got this talking point that's going around saying that the Doge guys are not authorized to do this. They don't work for the Treasury Department, and of course they do. Here, let me pull this up. Here we go.
I'm here with U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent in Washington. Mr. Secretary, thank you for joining me.
So good to see you.
Mr. Secretary, we are inside the cash room at the Treasury Department. It is almost impossible to overstate how important the work that is done in this building is to the U.S. financial system. Yet right now, there is widespread concern about the Doge team's access to sensitive payment systems. Are you worried at all that that access and that tinkering of the payment systems could affect the Treasuries market or cause any disruption?
Good. Well, Soleil, thank you for asking me about that because there's a lot of misinformation out there. First of all, when you say the Doge team, these are Treasury employees. There are two Treasury employees, one of whom I personally interviewed.
Oh.
There is no tinkering with the system. They are on read-only. They are looking, they can make no changes. It is an operational program to suggest improvements. So we make 1.3 billion payments a year. And this is two employees who are working with a group of long-standing employees.
The letter that the Treasury Department...
Okay, so there you have it. I mean, so they're Treasury employees. That talking point, boom, right out the door and out the window. But that won't stop them from promoting that talking point. Listen, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our first break of the third hour and be back.
Dose.
Be right back, guys. Sorry, guys, a little musical interlude there. Welcome back. Okay, if you're on hold, stand by. So, what do you get before? Well, let me take a call or two, and then I'll finish with what I was going to say. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is James in Delray. How you doing?
All right, Delray.
Hey, listen, I just got some funny things talking about Pam Bondi. Now, I also look into the mysterious death surrounding Obama's chef. You know, they're talking about Michelle having an affair with this guy. Suddenly, a good swimmer dies in 7 feet of water. I think Pam Bondi should look into that.
I don't know. Listen, that's a local crime, by the way. No, we got other things we got to look at. You know, okay. If she's gonna look into a chef, a White House chef, I wanted to look into that Biden chef that took a picture with the Trump assassin from the golf course in Ukraine. That's the guy. If you're gonna look at a chef, let's look into that. Not the Obama side piece.
Yeah, it's called murder. The guy was murdered. Michelle.
You sound like the guy in Heart to Heart. Murder. Yeah, I know, but no, come on. You really want with everything that's going on, the Obamas, they say are on the. Let me tell you, the rumor has been that Barack Obama has been with Jennifer Aniston for some time, the actress, right? And I was reading the other day that they're on the verge of a divorce. If they get divorced, and he is with Jennifer Aniston, he's done. Okay. The liberal blacks love Michelle, and if they split because he's sleeping with a white woman, he's done. Done. They'll drop him. It takes a lot for the first black president to lose his base of support, but leaving his popular wife, Michelle, popular with the Democrats, for a white woman, that would be the end of it for him.
Yep.
All right, take care. Appreciate the call. Okay, now there's a couple things I want to get out, and I would like your thoughts on all of these things, okay? The USAID, okay? I talked about this in the first hour. I want to bring it up again because I'd like to get your thoughts on this. And this is a real legitimate thing that I have noticed in the news. I've been watching a lot of cable news this week. I don't usually watch the cable news, but there's been a lot of breaking news with Trump. So when there's breaking news, I keep the TV news on in the background so I don't miss it. And as the week has gone on, because today's Friday, this entire week, and it's been getting worse each day, I'm watching, and I'm talking about Fox, CNN, and MSNBC. They are struggling to get through their day parts. In fact, the way I would describe, this is the worst thing you can say to somebody who's doing a radio or a television show. They seem to be killing time to get through the segments, and they're really stretching. And there's a ton of news, and I don't mean just because they're not covering the USAID. There are a ton of stories going on. There are more stories than even a 24-hour news cycle could handle because Trump is doing so many things. There's so many balls up in the air. And yesterday was the worst. They were vacuous in the news yesterday. They were talking about nothing, all of them, with all these stories. And then I was wondering, why is this? And this is what I started thinking. And this is what I want you guys to let me know if you think I'm nuts or if you agree on this. If you're on hold, hang in there. We know for a fact that USAID has been paying tens of millions of dollars to American media outlets. Not just the $34 million to Politico, but $50 million to the New York Times, and there's a whole bunch more. WikiLeaks dropped yesterday. They've been paying over 2,000 journalists personally and hundreds of media outlets worldwide, but many of them here in the United States, okay? So what I'm wondering is, because Politico didn't make payroll and all this stuff, are the media so embedded with these talking point writers, the fact that USAID money has not been going out in the month of February, and today is, what's the date? It is the 7th. Are the talking point writers not working? Are the people in the cable news not getting their talking points? Right? Is that a possibility? And I would have to say, and I think it is. I think that the media, we now know for a fact that it's state-controlled media. It's a fact because of these payments. So if they're not getting paid, are they sending the talking points and the stories that the media are supposed to cover? Because see, what we found out from this, okay, is that the money, they just haven't been giving money to their buddies. They've been trying to forward agendas. And when they're forwarding agendas, that comes under the guise of feeding stories and talking points. And I don't think they have them. I don't think they have them. The few liberal pundits that I see on TV have nothing much to say about anything. I was talking to a caller earlier about President Trump has sent illegals to Guantanamo Bay. That's a big deal. When they sent Al-Qaeda to Guantanamo Bay, the ACLU was on overdrive. Why have we not seen any of the civil libertarian ACLU type organizations stopping the illegals going to Guantanamo Bay? Christy Noem's going there today, I think, to Gitmo. Tom Homan yesterday, when he briefed his team to go in for the gangs in that apartment building, did you see this? Because Fox was embedded. He said, let's go in there, put the cuffs on them, and send them to Gitmo. So these civil libertarian groups, are they not getting paid by USAID, so they're not out there active right now? Another thing I noticed, these Democrats that have been trying to get protests going at the USAID office, have you seen how few people have been with them? A handful. Not a crowd. They don't have the USAID money to pay the crowd to come. So what's going on here, the Democrats and the establishment, they have suffered a defeat with this at a level that I don't think any of us really fully understand yet. Because that money has been cut off. In fact, they fired, I got the number here, they fired like 10,000 employees this week from USAID. And the money's not going out. I watched the press conference with Marco Rubio it was in Central America. It was yesterday. I can't remember what was it, Guatemala? Was he in Guatemala? I can't remember where he was. Oh no, he was in, where we're going. He was in the Dominican Republic. We're going to the Dominican Republic on our cruise next month. It's one of our stops, Puerto Plata. And they were asking him all about the USAID workers since he's their boss. They fired 10,000 of them. So I'm wondering how much of this. Remember I told you guys that when I found out that all the gun control organizations were Million Man March, all of them, that it was all fake? That was probably USAID money that had the different ones, and they were all one unit. So what I'm telling you is USAID has been funding the entire left and all of their activist organizations. In fact, there's a story this morning, Black Lives Matter was completely funded by USAID. Tens of millions of dollars. So now that USAID, see, this country is a very conservative country. And all this, that's me. I have my computer hooked up to the board. That's me getting an email. Don't check your emails, people. That was me. The entire liberal activist apparatus and their media have been shut down, I think, based on what we're seeing this week. Because when the ACLU and the liberal activists put up a fight against the terrorists going to Guantanamo Bay, that was not long after few months after 9/11, and they were putting people in there that masterminded 9/11 and were cutting people's heads off. And the ACLU and the left were freaking out over it. They're sending the migrants there. I haven't heard any opposition. In fact, the ACLU sent lawyers to Guantanamo Bay. Eric Holder was one of them to represent Al-Qaeda. And we're not hearing anything. And the only thing I could connect it all to is the loss of the USAID. Can you imagine what this is going to do for us in the midterms? Holy smokes. They have not only are they leaderless, they have no money. They have no organization, because we're finding out now that the Democrat Party and all the activist groups and their friends in the fake news media, it's all USAID, it looks like. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. Now, guys, tell me what you think about that. I want call me on, if you're on hold. Hang in there. Give me a call. I want to know what you all think about that. Hey, Mike, do you remember where that guy said he called from?
Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Look out for a crash blocking the left turn lane on northbound A1A at Riverside Drive. Slow traffic on the turnpike between Montana Toll Plaza and Jog Road. And I'm also seeing an earlier crash on Haverhill and Whitefeather Trail. That's traffic. I'm Zach.
William, thank you.
Systems to ensure you receive the best in customer service and workmanship. Don't miss out on our limited time offer for free roof inspection. Call us now at 954-604-4602 or visit us at woodroofing.com. Trust the experts who have been protecting homes like yours for generations.
You know, if you want to, you don't have to. But I don't want them to hear what.
That's weird, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Trust me, I'd rather still just figure that out.
Yeah. Okay. That would let me know. I would be able to, I can do it with that. Janine, thank you so much.
Replacement therapy is here to help you reclaim your youth. Hormone replacement therapy is all natural and can restore your hormones to where they were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, have more energy, and even get your sex drive back. And for women, hormone replacement pellet therapy can completely stop and reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. No more mood swings, better sleep, and no more night sweats. Call Dr. Matez for a free consultation today at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 48 years.
All righty, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve will be out for a few days due to his wife's accident. She's okay, though, because she was texting me last night. So she broke her arm, but it's got to be her left arm. It's better to, if you're right-handed, you want to break your left arm. It's got to be, because she was texting me. All right, let's go to the phones. It is Open Maga Mike Friday. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right, once, twice, you are out. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Never Trump Steve in beautiful Palm City. How are you doing today?
Wonderful. How are you?
Fine. Now, I would like to make a comment
Here we go, the
about
talking
U.S.
points.
aid, but before I do that, I want you to sit down for this because I don't want you to hurt yourself. I'm about to pay Trump and you a compliment, if you can believe it. And let me start with Trump first. I'm going to save you for after because I know you have a pretty big ego, so you won't disconnect.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Concerned, the compliment for Trump. When he came out on Saturday with his announcement of the tariffs, I said, I can't wait till Monday morning when Wall Street opens up. And so it was down 500. I said, let me wait for 600 down, and then I'm going to buy with my eyes closed all these stocks that I've been waiting to buy because I knew right away it's another Trump PR stunt. And the reason you know that is he wasn't implementing the tariffs till Tuesday because that would allow him to get a call on Monday from Mexico and Canada and then say, you know what, I'm going to put it off for 30 days now because they're putting troops on the border. What your listeners don't know is the troop announcement was already pre-announced before the end of the...
Where's the compliment? Where's the compliment part? You're going on and on here. I'm falling asleep. You're hypnotizing me.
Trump made me a lot of money on paper. I bought all these stocks at rock bottom prices. As soon as the tariff was off, all these stocks went...
Okay, so let me ask you. Okay, so let me ask you. Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, after you said I have this massive ego, are you calling the compliment Trump or just to brag that you're rich and you made some money? Sounds like you're the one with the ego problem.
No, I'm saying I'm going to talk about you now. I said I was going to make you second. Second was you indicated after the first of the new year that you're now going to have a New Year's resolution that you're going to take your breaks on time.
Yes, I failed that today though.
Well, I didn't listen earlier, but that can happen occasionally. But I would be more impressed if you said you're going to go to the gym every day because that's a tough thing. Take it from me. But taking breaks on time, my God, your advertisers pay you a lot of money in your bank account. I would hope you would do that on time. But I'm going to take your lead.
When we take a break late, we still play the commercials. We just air them at a different, like we're supposed to break it at 13 minutes after, and if I take the break at 15 minutes after, the same commercials still run.
Which I shouldn't.
Oh, you're not cute or funny. I mean, what is the point of this call? No, you're adorable. Are you gay? What kind? Are you gay? I'm serious. Are you gay?
Here we go again. It's always down to something.
No. What kind? No. Gay is the reason I ask. Wait. Slow down. The reason I ask. Hold on. Hold on. Slow down. Why do you think I asked if you're gay? Nothing wrong if you are, but why do you think I asked if you're gay?
Because it was a stupid question.
No, you said you said this is a quote. You were talking about yourself. You said I'm adorable. Straight guys don't call themselves adorable. That's effeminate.
It's a joke I use that gets laughs from people every time. There's something about that word that makes people laugh.
Who laughs at that? Your employees who have no choice? Who laughs at that?
The reason I brought up your New Year's resolution, I will now, when I call in, which is not very often, maybe once a week at that, The first thing I will say to your listeners, have your prices gone down? All this other stuff we're hearing on the news ad infinitum about what Trump is saying and doing, nothing has to do with getting prices down. And pretty soon we're going to need a mortgage table next to the price of eggs to pay for eggs. What is it?
Really? 12. I went to Publix yesterday and went out of my way to look at the eggs. You know how much a dozen eggs cost? You tell me. You're all concerned about them.
I don't buy them from Publix. I buy them at Aldi's, which is a little less.
How much are they at Aldi's?
Actually, a Winn-Dixie.
You don't even know how much eggs are. You just make it crap up. Then what? You're complaining. Oh, they're looking at the eggs. $5.29 for a dozen.
As of when? Yesterday?
As of yesterday, yes. I was at Publix.
Look today and report on Monday whether you gave correct information.
What? You think I'm lying? You're lying? You think I'm lying? Well, they may be more. They may. It was the Publix brand eggs.
I mean, that's all.
Oh, and we're gonna take your good word for that.
Monday you will.
So let me tell you, if they're not $5.29 and say they're $5.59, will I have been a liar?
You would be wrong.
No, they were. I promise you, they were under $6. I don't know what they are today, but I went to Publix yesterday very specifically to buy. I went to buy cat food, and I was on the phone with my wife. I said, "Oh, I'm going to check the egg prices." And I called her. Now I could be wrong. It could have been $5.49. It was under $6. I'm sure it was $5 something 9, 29, 59, 69. And I don't know how much eggs ever cost because I don't pay attention to the prices of things, like that.
$99 a month ago, PJ.
But it was under $6. It was well under $6 at Publix for the Publix 1 dozen. And I asked my wife. I said I thought they were already up. But there were there was a huge that was the Publix eggs, and there's a bunch of other egg brands. I don't know. I don't understand what all these brands are, but there were big open empty spaces where the other egg brands went. Why do you think that is?
Because we have something called the bird flu, which is limiting the production of eggs, maybe. And
that is why egg prices are higher. Not anything Trump's done. He didn't give them the bird flu.
He didn't do anything. That's the whole point.
No. The reason whatever the price, I was shocked at how low eggs were. I was expecting them to be like $8 a dozen or $12 a dozen. By the way, that it's slow. Oh, it's slow. But no. The eggs are and I called my wife, we were on the phone. I said, let me call you back. I'm going to check the eggs. And I said $5.29, $5.40. It was under $6. It was $5 something 9. I said, is that high for eggs? And she says, maybe $2 higher a dozen,
How much time in this? Can I get...
No, we're not spending too much time. We're shooting down your liberal stupid talking point. It's going up. Everything's going up.
What's he doing about it? That is my whole...
He can't make more chickens. The egg prices are based on the demand and the supply.
The price of anything go down.
Gasoline. I've seen gasoline go. Gasoline has gone down.
Yeah.
Gasoline. Oh my goodness. Gasoline's gone down.
Gasoline is now $3.29. I paid
$3.20. Where are you buying? That's super.
Where are you getting your gas from? I'm going to check.
Yeah, what are you going to go? You want to ring the gas station on my... Get off the phone. Jeez. He's just got a bunch of talking points. I'm just living my life and noticing things. Now, I want to talk about Dr. Philip Appleton. Today's Friday, and usually when I go see Dr. Appleton, when I have an injury, it is on Saturdays. Walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. Because Dr. Appleton knows when you're in pain, you need help, you need relief now. His laser wave pain treatment, he has rid me of pain 7 times, sometimes from aging and arthritis, sometimes from injuries. What he is, I just wonder what I'd be like if the radio station had not introduced me to Dr. Philip Appleton with all the pains and injuries I've had. I'd be one of 2 things: a junkie hooked on pain pills, or I'd just be here in so much pain I could hardly get through the show. I am doing so well. I've had 3 shoulder injuries he's rid me of pain from, arthritis in my finger, my knee pain, other pains. It's amazing. You know, the other day I was doing a live stream on YouTube, and Elon Musk launched a rocket. On the YouTube, on the live stream on YouTube, I went and got a ladder, took my phone, and took everybody up and climbed on the roof of my house. You know, I am pain-free thanks to Dr. Appleton, and you can be too. Give him a call. His number is 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. All right, we're going to check in with William Youngerman for the final gold report of the week and precious metals report. William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. William Youngerman, how the metals ending up the week?
Metals are going to looking very strong for the closings. The market yesterday giving us a little bit of a pullback on profit taking, where gold lost $11 at the end of the day after closing, trading in a range of $2,830 all the way up to $2,875. Closing out the day at $28.55.40, which was down $11. Silver closed down 6 cents at $32.19 the ounce. Platinum was up $5 at $9.86, and palladium was down $11 at $9.64. This morning we've seen gold trading in a range of $28.55 all the way up to $28.74. Right now we're at $28.65, up $9.60. Silver's up a penny at $32.20 the ounce. Platinum up $1 at $9.87, and palladium down $10 at $9.54. So gold very well staying well above the $2,800 support level. Silver staying above $32 support level, and the markets are looking very healthy for higher numbers next week.
Did you say silver's, what was silver, 32?
$32.20.
Holy smokes. That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, tell people how it works if they can't come into your shop, whether they're local, out of town, out of state, or out of the country, how they can do their transactions with you over the phone and through the mail.
You just call us on our toll-free number, 800-327-5010. Lock in the price and wire the funds, and your metals are shipped within 24 hours.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people do that. Even people that are local, you know, maybe you can't make it into the shop because you're, you know, for whatever reason. It's a very easy way to do the transaction. It's safe, secure, and how do you send the metals to people? How do they come?
They're fully insured, either FedEx or registered.
Yeah.
We get them there fully insured.
Fully insured. You hear that? So it's a very easy process. And give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. You can stop in. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can find both William Youngerman's address and phone number online at williamyoungerman.com. Boy, this is the time for the metals. William Youngerman, we'll talk on Monday. All right, yeah, how can you not with that? Okay, we are back. I mean, did I do a good enough job shooting down the egg thing? I mean, come on. When I saw, the eggs were $5 something. I can't swear to the exact price, but they were under $6 by a lot. And I was, when it comes to eggs, I've always just gotten the store brand Publix eggs. I don't need I don't get this cruelty-free farm stuff, right? They treat them nice before they chop off their head. I don't know what that's about. And I'm not into fancy eggs or anything. Eggs to me are eggs. So I think much hype's been made about this. Although the other brands were out because of the shortage, you know. But anyway, let's go here. Let's see. Where are we? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Mark from Minnesota.
Yes, Mark.
Yeah, I'm calling about the USAID stuff and Ilhan Omar. We just hate her here. And why is this lady still in our government?
Because they moved Somalia. That's right. I mean, you know, she was giving a video came out of her yesterday. She was speaking to a group of Somalians, right? And where's her district? Minneapolis, yeah. She's talking and she's talking to a group of Somalis in Minneapolis. She referred to the president of Somalia as our president. I thought that's crazy.
Well, look at our flag. It has the Minnesota flag has Somalian colors now.
Get out! What? Wait, whoa! Tell me about what?
Yeah, they changed our state flag. It's
No, they did not.
blue and white with the 8-star Muslim star.
What? The flag of Minnesota. The flag of Minnesota.
Flag.
When did this happen?
Used to have a great flag with the native, with the Indians and everything on it, and they're off of there now.
You got to get to another state. You got to abandon Minnesota. It's lost. Okay, hold on a second here. I pulled it up. Okay, it says it's a dark blue field. Okay, hold on. My internet's kind of slow. I don't know what's going on with my internet. I'll look it up. I can't pull it up in. It says the state flag of Minnesota consists of a dark blue field representing the night sky in the state shape, an 8-point star representing the North Star, and a blue field. Well, the internet is working too slow for me to show that. But you say there's a Muslim crescent thing in it? Come on.
The Muslim star and 8-point star.
Okay. It says here, okay. The state flag of Minnesota consists of a dark blue field representing the night sky in the state shape, an 8-pointed star representing the North Star, and a bright blue field representing the state's abundant waters. The star is based on a prominent feature in the Minnesota State Capitol Rotunda. So it's not a Muslim star. It's the North Star, and it's in your rotunda.
Somalia's flag. Look at Somalia's flag. Pull that up.
The flag of Somalia? Okay. This is exciting. Googling on the radio. I'm so glad Steve's not listening today. I'd be in hot water. That's a real star. Okay. The flag of Somalia has a blue field as well, with a 5-pointed star.
Okay.
So there's. Well, you know what? The French flag is red, white, and blue, but I think it's blue, white, and red, right? So this, come on. I understand I've heard the Somalians have their own police force in Minnesota, so I understand. You've been put through the ringer, so you're seeing Somalians everywhere.
That's fraud. The Somalians they already did that.
Okay.
Did the feeding our kids fraud.
No, I've heard terrible stories. I mean, believe me. My wife has a cousin who has a business in Somalia, in Minnesota, and it's impossible. It's impossible. All right. Take care. So I'm glad we settled that about the flag, because you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you coming from?
Mark from Jupiter.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, good morning. Hey, I'll just say this. I don't know why they're so fixated on those egg prices. One of the more important things that's going to drive pricing is the lowering of energy costs.
Yeah, I can't. You're gotta talk higher. I can't hear you too well.
Yeah, no problem. I said I don't know why they're so fixated on these egg prices. I said with the drop in energy prices, things are just going to go lower and lower. And by the way, is that Chuck Schumer that calls in the Never Trumper? I swear.
Chuck Schumer? Oh my goodness.
It's like it, doesn't it? Oh my goodness! Listen, I was just away down in the Keys last weekend, and people were having a great time. People feel good. People were dancing to music. Thank God we got what we got.
I don't go to the Keys. I don't go to the Keys anymore. It's been destroyed. The Keys used to be like old Florida. Everybody and now you got to be like a millionaire to have a 1-bedroom down there.
It's so true. It takes us like half the year to save enough money just to go.
The Keys used to be like, I don't know how you would describe the way it used to be, but rustic. Yeah, it was literally edgy, cheap, very laid back, the Conch Republic whole thing. And now they've just destroyed it with the development down there. It's been lost. I mean, I don't want to sound like some liberal and be against developers, but the Keys was it was a paradise.
You felt like you left the country.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the best.
Oh, good. Thank God we got Trump doing what he's doing. He's moving too fast for everybody, but not fast enough for everybody. You see what I mean?
He's moving so fast they can't even respond to it.
They can't. Their heads are spinning.
All right, appreciate the call. Yeah, I miss the old keys guy. You know, I don't know if they still do this because they got new technology. But when you used to drive to the Keys, and you ever driven to the Keys, Mike? And you go down the stretch to get the Key Largo, and people that weren't locals, they drive down the stretch going like 100 miles an hour, and they may still do this. And the police would monitor you. They didn't have cops on the stretch. The stretch is the road from the mainland to Key Largo, okay? And it's a very long road, and we call it the stretch. And the highway patrol would monitor the speeds from the planes above, and when you got to the other side of the stretch, you'd get pulled over and get the ticket. And I remember I go down to the Keys so many times, and these people would fly by me going 90, 110, you know, and you know they're not Florida people. And then when I'd get to the end of the stretch, I'd see them all pulled over, like 12 cars getting tickets. I want to tell you guys about the free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's. This is really amazing. I mean, if you've not taken advantage of this offer, do it. The doorbell camera, it's not just security, it's that, but it's so convenient that no matter where you are, like I'm here at the radio station or I'm on our cruise ship, you get a notification every time there's movement at your door, and you can see who's there. You never have to get up to look and see who's at your door, ever, even if you know, my wife and I were in the other room or we're in the backyard, there's somebody at the door, we don't have to go. We can see if it's a salesman or something. You never have to answer the door. It's great, the thing to have. And Sloman's will give you a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. They're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery, plus a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call. 1-800-ALARM-ME. 1-800-ALARM-ME. You know, Al Knight, our weekend guy, says, nobody uses the 1 anymore, Brian. You could just say 800. But, you know, hey, old habits. 1-800-ALARM-ME. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Get your free doorbell camera, okay? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ, what up?
Well, you know, this, your USAID, I think that the lack of reporting, I mean, I've seen it reported a lot, but bits and pieces. I do see a little bit of a downturn on it. And I think it does have a little bit to do with sort of, I think they view it as an infanticide move to cover it, because it basically, to me, it just puts a cloud over all media and pushes people more towards individual, you know, like people like Benny or other, you know, people like you, like to...
Oh, thanks for getting me in there. You went first to Benny Johnson. I appreciate that.
You know, sorry.
Come on. You're cheating on me. You're committing listener adultery. You know, my goodness.
Guy.
We're going to have to go to therapy.
Well, you know, I was, you know, this USAID thing is sort of like, you know, it's not, this story is not going to go away, because every time you pull, there's so much to find there. I mean, there's so many things. It's going to go on for a long time, because once they send a payment out...
No, I'm going to tell you something. Okay, a few months ago, a bunch of conservative big influencers were found to have taken millions of dollars from Russia, right? Dave Rubin, Tim Pool, right? And I can't remember who else, but those are the two big ones. And people like conservatives like me, we were all over that. You know?
Asian, I can't think of her name, but
she's Asian Canadian, but she used to work for the Blaze. I can't remember her name, but Dave Rubin was the big one. And I was all over that. I didn't shy away from it. I had all the details. I went over the whole thing. No, you don't shy away. You lose credibility if you cover it. No, they should be all over. Fox should be all over that story.
The only thing that's going to save them is that there are so many more glorious things that Trump is going to do. That's the only way this story is going. But every once in a while, there'll be a big thing that comes up, and we'll find out that so-and-so is taking money. I mean, the media, we've basically been destroying our own country and the world through this propaganda.
That's right. Hey, listen, I'm short on time, but thanks for the call, okay? We'll do a quick lightning round, which usually is a mistake, but we'll see. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the... Yeah, Ivy, you have 15 seconds.
Yeah. All right. Well, variables, I'll leave it on this note. Variables, they just cannot predict the future. Everything they've done is now in their faces, and they unreveal all the real truth behind the scenes.
That's right. Okay, that's good. Okay, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. Chris from Pompano. We agree on the, the question as far as the, the media and their slowdown. First of all, it's coming fast. Trump is moving and doing so well, and but they're still in shock, and their money's not coming in like it used to be. So I think it's a combination of all of the above, and listen, a whole lot more is coming.
All right, we're out of time. Good call. All right, that's all the time we have for today. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. We'll be back Monday morning at 6 a.m. And have your prayers for Steve's wife. She broke her collarbone and her arm. See you Monday, 6 a.m. All right, guys, thanks for watching. All right, I will see you on the next stream. And